Patrick Wall and the Delete Everything podcast present marijuana, the horrifying plague of our streets, the jazz age nightmare tearing apart our families. We zoom in on a young couple in love, a casual evening, date night, perhaps a romantic encounter, followed by reefers.
Oh, hey, Sally, I had a really good time. It was real swell going to the soda fountain with you.
Yeah, Johnny, I liked it a lot. I really liked that thing you did with your oh, you know.
Well, yeah, but I've been working at the factory with my dad, so my finger strength is real good.
Hey, Johnny, you know anything about reefers?
Oh, I heard the Negroes do that, and it's bad.
I don't know. I think I might like to try it.
Well, I mean, if I'm being honest...
Here, I got one right here.
Oh, I was going to say I got a guy, but...
Oh, if we do it, then I'll do that thing you liked.
The butt thing?
Yeah, that one.
Okay. Well, then, fire that bitch up.
Oh, yeah.
Well, pass it over.
There you go, big guy.
Thank you.
Live a little. Oh, it's making me hot.
Oh, God.
Hey, Johnny. Johnny.
What?
Let's go kill an old lady.
Yeah, that's what I was literally about to say. Let's go rob a convenience store. Welcome back, everybody, to Delete Everything Podcast, our cash crop. We're getting ready to trim and dry and roll up and blaze you the fuck up so that you open your mind to lost, forgotten, deleted, and omitted history. I am your host, Patrick Wall. The Dutchie to my right-hand side.
Riley Bowen.
And... the Dutchie to my left-hand side, we're going to fill his whole ass up full of drugs and make him cross the border. Mule Boy, Drew Bowlby.
You got there. You got there.
I got
you want to hit this shit?
We're joking. We don't smoke weed. We think it's a filthy thing to do.
Yeah.
I suggested...
all of you stoner dickheads got brought in. You're like, oh, yeah, we're going to smoke with the 420 episode. Fuck you. Now we're joking.
I suggested that we all take an edible before we do this episode, and I was immediately voted against.
Riley and I
was outvoted.
do not react well to the marijuana.
I actually have like kind of a phobia of marijuana because I react so fucking poorly to it.
In this week's episode, we are talking about the history of marijuana usage. Go, surprise, surprise, it's coming out on 420. And how centuries of royal fucking colonizer dickishness turned it in from a normal thing, just a thing, to a bad thing.
No, you can look at it like in terms of capitalism, not to play my hand too heavily on like, my belief structure there, but like capitalism takes the plant that grows out of the fucking dirt and makes it into a product specifically to be used by a government entity.
This is the intro, Sugar Dick. Let me get through it. All right. Before we get into
it. Fuck.
He called you Sugar Dick, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, I can say anything I want as long as I finish it with Sugar Dick.
Traditionally, it's the balls I dip in sugar.
Those are in honey.
No, you got to put the honey down the shaft so it drips onto the balls, crystallizes the sugar.
These days I use agave nectar mostly.
Yeah, it's a natural choice.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Like weed.
Before we get into this, thank you to anybody who's given us reviews, ratings, Spotify comments, anything like that. If you have not done so yet, it costs you nothing, and we really, really, really like it. We want to keep growing this fucking thing, so get on whatever you're listening to. Give us 5 stars. If you're on Apple Podcasts, leave us a rating. If you're on Spotify, leave us a comment on this episode. You can also find us on Instagram and on YouTube, where you'll find videos and such, all kinds of fun things of us just jerking around. And on our Instagram, we have photos that correspond with each individual episode. So that's fun, I think. You decide.
It is
Join
fun.
us.
It's fun.
It's fun.
The Instagram thing specifically, I point this out sometimes.
we all have our little areas of creativity, you know, and I think mine, which is obviously the hardest thing to do out of all
It
of
really
this.
is. Yes. I mean, no one would
Fuck
argue
you.
that.
Fuck you.
Aside
Quit.
from, you know, being a fucking like a full-time student and laborer with a family and editing this motherfucker every week. But yeah, I'm always late with the Instagrams. I'm not right now. Right now we're caught up.
Yeah, you're caught up.
I saw that.
I'm proud of you.
I was
But-
gonna say we're very proud.
But there's always an element in there that I try to like sneak a good joke
A little Easter
into
egg.
the Instagrams.
A little Easter egg
Like
in
for
every
instance,
one.
for the Olga of Kiev episode, the Instagram we put up, I play Bob Marley's Three Little Birds
Yeah.
as the song that plays, which is
Right,
funny
right.
because she killed thousands of people with birds.
Which, if you haven't listened to that episode, you're fucking up. Where was I? Oh, yeah, our
Oh, I can't
Instagram and
even
our YouTube. It's got a
remember.
lot of videos. Dude, I'm so high. A lot of videos. All those videos come from our Patreon episodes. So if you're watching those videos and you're like, that's hilarious, why have not heard that on the main feed? Well, it's because it's on Patreon. And you should be on Patreon too. It's going to cost you $8. And, you know, I get it. Shit's tough out there. But, you know, you can't even buy fucking guitar strings for $8 anymore. You can't buy anything for $8. What can you buy for $8, Drew?
Not a dime bag.
Yeah, that's never been the case. The dime was 10. Now dime bags are 40 or something. I don't know. You don't even do dime bags now. You go to a fucking store like a nerd. I used to have to buy shit from people behind dumpsters.
Yeah. And it was stinky and burned your
fucking,
eyes and
like
made you.
smoking weed out of a can
it
in a
made
little
you
patch
feel
of woods
gross.
by a fucking like by an overpass somewhere. Fucking 14 trying to smoke weed out of a Coke can
Yeah.
in midwinter
a
in
dented
Detroit.
Coke can that used the thumbtack to put holes in.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, you should join us on Patreon if you want to like check it out before you commit. That's fine. We've unlocked, I think, three episodes.
3. I'll do a fourth one.
3 episodes.
You guys tell me what you want to
Don't
do.
do a fourth one. These nerds can get it all. Soak it all up.
Or
in
you
three.
could do
You gotta buy, give us money.
Soak it up in 3.
we don't call it a fourth, we call it a quarter on this episode. The drug terms.
By the way, just so you know, Patreon is the only way that we make any kind of money off of this. And that's, you know, we do a lot of work on this thing. We try to constantly make it better and better. We put out Patreon videos sometimes, like the whole episode will be
Yeah.
video format. And yeah, that's how we do. So,
So
we
give us more money to sit in our Patreon.
so we can spend it
Never-
on drugs.
No, we just want it to sit there. We're never going to do anything with it.
My
it
bad.
has been sitting there. It's been sitting there accumulating because we have some high dollar items that we have been eyeballing. And so we're like, well, if we just leave it there, it'll just keep growing. And then we take it out and we buy the thing that we want. So that's why. But yeah, join us.
Yeah. I am gonna fight the instinct to just do drug humor this whole episode because it's really not what the episode's about.
Hey, this week your job is to read the fucking notes, brother. I'm joking today.
I also do the joke. Do you think that you aren't supposed to do jokes when you lead the episode?
I don't.
You don't ever do. That's not true. That'd be the most boring shit ever.
That would be-
in 1325. The
That would
evidence
be
of this-
taking the whole like straight man jester thing to like that
would suck. That would
as
fucking
far as
suck
humanly
dick.
Neither of
possible.
you is the straight man anyway. I think that's supposed to be me, but
I think
after a year of working with you two,
I think
I'm
I'm-
I don't think we have a straight man.
I think I'm typically the straight man in the episode. I'm certainly sort of the dad figure that has to like rope Riley in. Everyone's like, okay, god
I'm
damn it.
the slide whistle character.
Yeah, and
definitely.
he's the fucking jester.
Yeah.
It's like in any situation where there would be somebody doing some ridiculous shit, like fucking putting things in their jacket at a store,
I thought you
or
were gonna
like
say in your
hiding,
ass.
or like hiding behind something to like get evidence of some shit, or some zany situation. I would be the zany fucking
walking
character.
behind the couch and pretending he's going downstairs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Juggling.
And then-
If somebody can juggle randomly or do a magic trick, it's gonna be me.
yeah, and then Drew, when you're on, you're sort of like the figure in the shadows that just comes out with like the hilarious
the finger
joke.
in the shadows,
The finger in my
shadowy
Yeah, the shadow realm.
regions. Yeah. Okay,
Come
so
here.
you're my Shai Halud.
you're my Shia LaBeouf.
Who were you looking at when you said that?
Neither. Actually, no one's my Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf sucks. I'll say you're my
Shia
Shia
LaBeouf.
Halud too.
Shia
Except
LaBeouf stands alone.
you're my Shia. You're my Shia Halud, but you know, for him it's the Sandworm. For me, it's the early 2000s thrashcore band. If anybody listened to Shia Halud, they were great. Okay.
Yeah, no, you're just a thick, veiny sandworm to me
Okay.
with a butthole mouth.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right. So to
Let's
start,
get serious about weed.
yeah. So we're not. It's not about weed.
Oh, okay. I'm
It's
sorry.
about cannabis,
Oh.
specifically the historical use. That's different.
Is
No,
it?
I just thought of maybe
So we
the one
can't
we
use any synonyms for cannabis, aka weed.
You can get high on synonym
Pot.
too.
What?
You can get high on synonym too. You just gotta
Synonym?
you gotta just swallow a whole
get
jar
high
of
on
it. You get
synonyms?
fucked up. Cinnamon. Cinnamon.
Can you not say cinnamon?
Cardamom.
I can get elevated on synonyms.
Synonym.
Are you saying I can get? Are you saying I can get elevated on synonyms?
Yeah. Yeah, you're elevated learning.
I had a kid,
Elevated is a synonym for
like a
high.
28-year-old.
That's the joke. The
When I
joke
worked
is-
in the ER, I had
See,
a
you don't understand.
I
my
got it.
You don't get my jokes.
when I worked in the ER, I had
don't get me.
God damn it.
I had like a 28-year-old kid come into the ER with his mommy.
Yeah.
Because he smoked too much weed once. So
I think
naturally,
you told that story
God
on the.
damn it.
No. Tell it again. It's fun. Fun story.
I mean, we put him in like the behavioral health room, and he's like,
And everybody dressed as clowns and started coming in.
yeah.
You're
You're in a
like
box. You're in a box. You're in a box. You're in a box.
doing banana phone to
I don't.
him.
By the way, I don't remember if you told the story on mic or if we were all just dicking around and.
I don't know.
That's
I mean,
our whole lives.
That's not much of a story. We just relentlessly ripped on the kid, and we'd all be like, "Hey, man, you ever been to the ER on weed?"
It's crazy to me that like I'm too high and my mom has to take me to the hospital because like everybody, I think that there's a universal experience of being like a little bit of a rebellious asshole, like kid or teenager, where like it doesn't matter how fucked up you are, you cannot ask for help. You will lay in the forest.
I think, but here's the thing. I think that's a symptom of the way that we all grew up. And by the way, recognize the quality of like medical grade marijuana now, and
It's
like
insane.
the potency
Yeah.
of it now. You could go just like I had a buddy growing up that had a 6-foot bong,
Yeah.
and we would play who can clear the bong. Which
Yeah.
fun time, fun answer. No one.
No one, I can never do that.
has that lung capacity.
Yeah. I was pretty good with the gravity bong. I could clear the gravity bong
God.
and not cough. Because when I had a huge stoner phase for about 4 years going through high school.
Uh-huh.
I was a massive. I was high constantly for 4 years. Then I took a year off because I had to go work with kids in New York, and I thought they were going to drug test me. They never did. But like, I just took the time off, and then I never got it back.
Do you want to hear a fun gravity bong story?
Yeah, for sure.
So one of my best friends growing up, I'm not going to mention him
Was murdered by
by name.
gravity bong.
We decided after X amount of time of so we used to use. He had a pool out back, and we used to use the bucket that held like all the pool toys and like noodles and shit that goes.
Oh, did you fill up
in
the
the big
bucket?
bucket?
Bucket with smoke and just go under the water and get in the fucking bucket?
Well, now you ruined my story.
That's cool.
Well, we used to use that we put the water in the bucket. We just scoop the pool water, and then we'd use like a Coke bottle, like you normally would for a gravity bong. One day we decided, let's make the whole pool a gravity bong.
Yeah.
And that's what we did.
Creative stuff.
Yeah. We made a hole in the bottom of the bucket, and we put the fucking bowl in that and just kept repacking the bowl and filling up the fucking thing. And then we went under.
Go under, you go up.
Yeah.
Cough real hard, get out. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
You know what's worse than that?
What?
An ex of mine that you know very well, and another mutual friend, I won't name any names, they used to fucking, and I hated this. I hate gravity bongs because of this. They would always fucking rip gravity bong pulls out of the toilet tank.
Ooh.
Ripping Jeebs out the toilet.
Yep.
I mean,
Rad.
okay.
I mean, it works. It's
It
clean
works.
water technically, but
Yeah, it's like a little taboo, I guess.
I don't know. I hate gravity bongs. I was more of a joint guy when I did.
My
smoke.
thing in high school, I did a little side hustle. I've always been a little bit crafty, not very
or
crafty.
like a little piece,
But like a little, you know how
glass
I make
piece.
those fucking like those little like training swords with foam and like PVC pipe and shit.
yeah.
I always make weird little shit like that. When I was in high school, I would make
Things that tickle your fancy.
yes.
Not your fanny, your fancy.
Either or.
Things that tickle my fanny.
I would make these bowls out of the collapsible lightsabers you could get at like Walmart. They had the little light effect. Like, it would go, whoom, and you flip it out. So you just like cut the tip off of the like.
Sometimes you say a thing that very clearly highlights the fact that you and I are separated by what, like 7 years?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah,
Something like
6,
that.
7 years. Because By the time those came out, I was like in college.
So like or specifically the Phantom Menace, maybe not the Phantom Menace one. No, it was going to be, I think, Revenge of the Sith edition. That would be when I was in high school.
That was what, 2001?
Something like that. I technically would have graduated in 2006.
I think Phantom Menace came out in 99. They did one every
Yeah, so
every
there's
years.
another couple of years.
Was it
So
99?
by the time Revenge of the Sith came around, I was like
No, that
17.
didn't come out while I was in.
Regardless,
Oh, it would have been like Christmas time, 99.
the
Yeah,
lightsaber,
right before.
Freshman year of college for me.
so like every movie that came out, they'd have like a new edition of the lightsabers that come out. Like the Count Dooku came out and fucking
Hella
the second
dumb.
one.
Hate it.
Whatever, it's Star Wars. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
But the Yoda that came out was shorter than the other lightsabers, and it was green, right? So this is
Yeah.
perfect for this effect. I would, I'd heat up a little bowl and put it towards the base of the lightsaber, and then cut the tip off of the lightsaber, right? So
Circumcise.
yeah, circumcise
Please.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
And so you turn it on, and then you hit the bowl. It goes wow, and it shines the light up through the smoke, and it was really fucking cool, right? And then you pull the bowl out, and it cleared. That was awesome because you could also collapse the lightsaber, which was cool, which is like eliminate that level of evidence. But after a while, you get really resiny and weird.
Yeah, gross.
But I would sell those for
Real
like
gross real quick.
You could buy them for like $10. I would sell them for like 25.
Okay.
Little side hustle there. That was fun.
Do you have an episode or are we just riffing all day?
Okay.
I'm okay with riffing all day.
And my computer went into sleep mode because I was talking. I was just reminiscing.
We just had a 45-minute opening.
Yeah. But anyway, okay. So we're talking about weeds here. So
Okay, dude.
I want to put something to rest, and that is the actual origin of 420. Right? People have said for years, it's like
Hitler's birthday.
Hitler's birthday, or
Big weed guy.
There's a I think I got a solution for this.
Icon amongst stoners as well. Yeah, why the
Dude,
fuck would it be?
Listen.
That's why he had that little mustache.
Guys, I
because the
came,
lighter was
I came up
fucking-
with a solution. All right, it's the final one.
Okay.
It's gonna be the last one. Call it the final solution. Listen, I'm not going any further than that on that.
I was waiting.
What do you,
I was waiting
you
for
want
that.
me to expand on that?
No, I don't. I didn't want you to do it.
Okay, so you know how you
Okay, you don't
you know
do
you
it.
blaze weed.
So,
What if we
no,
blaze?
stop right there. Stop. Illegal. Call the police. Bad. Okay.
Maybe I will quit.
Okay.
I was joking earlier.
So the idea of like the holiday of April 20th.
Wait, you were talking about quitting earlier?
Please go on, Riley.
the holiday tradition of the April 20th is that there's this association with the number 420.
Did you get high before you got
Marijuana.
here?
No.
I'm
Did
feeling a
you
little
say it in
loosey
front of
talking
me?
about all this stuff.
Huh?
Did you say this in front of me?
No, when Riley was like, I have the hardest job, I'm like, all right.
Oh, okay. I've been being baked by the sun all day.
Yeah. So baked
And
and,
weed,
toasted.
bruh.
It's just drug humor. Oh, this whole thing. We're just gonna do fucking weed jokes.
Okay.
I quit.
What did you expect?
I don't know.
Yeah, you picked this topic, by the way, you fucker.
I know.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so like there's
420.
the idea that the number 420 is associated with marijuana. A lot of people throughout the years have thought about it as one Hitler's birthday, which is a fucking weird
Doesn't make
association.
sense.
California police code
That's what I always thought.
for
Yeah.
marijuana
That's what I
usage.
always heard.
Grateful Dead connection in general.
Don't know that.
Something there about the song length. There's some shit like that. There was another one.
42 minutes.
The number of chemicals in cannabis is another like misconception that people have. Here's the true story.
'Kay.
I'm just going to start with this as a little bit of trivia, and then we're
Charles
gonna move.
Manson.
Charles Manson invented marijuana.
Helter Skelter, baby.
So 420, the number association with marijuana, began in 1971 with a group of 5 San Rafael High School students in California. This group was known as the Waldos.
Fucking
It's
nerds.
true. There's some fucking nerds. Yeah, they're just some.
Yeah.
They're literally just some little stoner fucks in the
Stoner
70s,
nerds.
right? It's like think of that 70s show. It's just these same dickheads that are like,
Yeah.
ooh, we got to do this. So the Waldos, they used this as a code for meeting together at 420, which was after school. Right?
Okay.
So it's like 4 o'clock, get out of school,
Okay.
meet up over here at 420.
Okay.
And then they would look for an abandoned cannabis patch that was like legendary in their area. You know, it was one of those things every high school.
Like every high school
They'd just
students
be like,
heard
dude,
the story.
I was walking through
Yeah.
and I found some.
Yeah.
I think it was like an offshoot.
Well, it was never me. It was like, dude,
Yes.
my cousin saw it.
Friend of a friend. It's your
Dude, my
classic.
cousin
It's your
fucking saw-
classic urban legend. The idea of the floating
Yeah.
cannabis patch.
Yeah.
That could go from one side of town
Right.
to the other. The
Dude, my cousin found it. He cut off a bud and like we smoked it at his house and then we could never find it again.
Exactly, the magical cannabis
Yeah,
patch.
yeah.
So this group, they did that. They would just like get together at 420 and they would get high and go trouncing through the woods looking for shit. It's the same
That's
way.
cool as shit.
The same way like me and my friends would get together after school and go to Treaty Park and smoke weed in the woods and pretend that we were in a fucking war. And we'd be like
Okay.
bopping around with sticks. You
Yeah.
know, like it's just like a
Yeah.
fun like student thing.
What a weird transitional period where you're like old enough to smoke weed because you're like, I was probably like 12, 13 the first time I smoked weed.
Yeah,
but you're
same.
still young enough to do
You want to
like
play with sticks in the woods.
to do like kid shit.
Yeah.
Like I remember one time that me and friend of the show Brian Velez disappeared in the woods forever, and we were doing this whole like predator is following us, like predators coming, and we're like doing this whole like acting out like, oh, he's that way, and then we'd run this way, and then we like ended up like the sun went down and our parents are looking for us because we had gone so fucking like just acres and acres and acres, like probably miles back into the woods, and we were like, the sun was going down, and we were like, we should probably turn around because it's gonna be fucking
We're gonna fucking
11 o'clock
die
at
out
night
here.
by the time we get back.
Well, and that's a good story too, because then you're high and you're walking through the woods and you're just
Yeah.
like, I'm dark, I'm fucked.
Yeah, it's great.
My wife and daughter are gonna come into the weed episode real quick so she can give
Okay.
me munchies. Which is
Okay,
fun.
hell yeah.
Made spaghetti. She's like, oh, you can bring spaghetti while you're podcasting.
She make enough for the rest
no,
of the class?
fuck you. You
Fuck
don't get
you.
any.
All right, where are we at?
Okay, so the term for 420 being associated with cannabis, this like urban legend of like the floating cannabis patch, which is
Right.
cool. Which is cool. I like that. You can make a movie called 420 and make it about some kids looking for like the legendary cannabis patch. I guess you
Sure.
could have made that better in like 2002.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we missed the bus on
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But
That's like the Stoned Age or some shit, you know?
yeah, the Pineapple Express days.
Yeah, well, even before then. Before like you could do a Cheech and Chong on that one.
Well, okay, that's way before 2002, but yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm just
I think
saying
we're thinking
like
more like Dazed and Confused. Isn't
There
that
you go,
roughly
yeah, yeah.
around that area?
Days of Confused is a good one.
You could do a cool indie film on that.
Or
Yeah.
fucking that Chappelle movie, Half Baked. It was right around then.
That
Yeah.
Half Baked was my stoner movie.
That
was
was
like,
mine.
Half Baked was 90s, I want to say, late 90s.
I think I want to say it's a 97 to 99.
Yeah.
The Half Baked is definitely mine. Abba Zabba, you my only friend. I can quote that shit all day.
My
every
wife
day.
regularly says that.
Abba
Ah,
Zabba.
they. I
You know the
quote that
band?
shit out
You guys know the
there.
band Thank You Scientist?
No.
Nope.
98.
98. Yeah.
Wait. No.
Thank You Scientist is cool. It's like a tech metal ska band.
No, definitely
You,
not.
you don't know, but they're very good. They're like big in like the progressive metal scene. But their name is based on the interaction with Dave Chappelle and like the weed scientist in that movie. He's like, "Thank you, custodian." And he's like,
Oh.
"Thank you, scientist."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, so okay, this term, the 420 being associated with cannabis, it's spread through like Grateful Dead circles as this urban legend, and it was later popularized by
That's fine. We got you.
by a High Times article. You guys remember High
I
Times?
remember High
magazine?
Times.
Oh,
I
yeah.
do.
So it went from a High Times article and
And
became
you could
like,
send a check and get like fucking pipes and bongs and shit.
yeah, you could also get fake weed from them for
Yeah,
a
you
while.
could get-
But like
synthetic weed.
you get weird synthetic weeds,
Yeah.
K2
or
all that shit.
yeah, kind of K2 ish.
It was before K2, I think. But
you
yeah.
know, but it was like a plant that smoked like weed, but you couldn't really get high from it.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. Fucking High Times was always crazy because you look at all these pictures, like, oh, this one's got purple crystals,
yeah.
and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck are purple crystals for? What is that? I don't know what that is. What do you get higher? Is it purple? But it's purple.
Yes. The answer is
Northern
yes.
Lights, man.
Yeah.
Like the weed culture of today, I think is interesting because like terms like Northern Lights or Maui Wowie or you know what have you, those would not just be readily accessible to people once
Right.
upon a time.
No.
We would hear about them in
It
this
was
like
it was grown in a certain part of the country, and you could get it in that part of the culture,
Exactly.
country unless you knew somebody or were somebody who was going to drive a long fucking way to go buy
Yeah.
a whole bunch to bring
Coming
back.
from Michigan.
Which incidentally, my friend who had the 6-foot bong, his older brother, and his friend used to drive to like fucking Minnesota and shit.
yeah.
They drive all over it, and they
And that's
come
the
back
place where
with
you get
crazy
you'd get like
ass
Northern
shit.
Lights.
Yeah,
was the
and
big-
we would
'cause
have
being
like
from Michigan. That's what I would get a lot.
yeah, we would have like insanely good weed at a time when like you bought a nickel bag or a dime bag,
And for
fucking,
1 week,
yeah.
you were gods.
oh, I'd fucking like buy $50 worth
There was a
and then sell it all for like $150.
there was
at 16 years old.
an instance in high school where somebody came to school claiming that they had met the rapper Nelly at a Foot Locker.
Country Grammar. Yeah.
Yes.
We got it.
I met the rapper Nelly at a Foot Locker that he was working at. The student, not Nelly.
Okay.
Nelly came in.
I swear to God, I thought you said Nelly was working at the
This
Foot
was
Locker.
at full pimp juice. Like this was Nelly's like peak career.
Okay.
He came in with it like his entourage up to a Foot Locker.
Stupid Band-Aid on his face.
Yeah, super Band-Aid on his face, exactly. And he bought a bunch of shoes, and then he gave
He always had an owie right
he
there.
gave this guy behind the counter some weed, just like, here you go, man. And it was he said it was like juicy fruit or some shit.
the fuck out of here.
Anyway, he said he brought this like Magic Nelly weed to school, and he hid it in the spot people hide their drugs in the school, which is like a hole in the bathroom. And he told everybody, and he's like, after school we could go get high. That shit was stolen instantly.
Gone.
And then me and my friends smoked it.
Yeah. First guy to get the bathroom pass after that story
Yeah.
was the guy who had
I
it.
want to say clearly I was not the one who stole it, but I
okay.
did participate in the smoking of it. That's, whatever. Anyway,
Yeah.
okay.
How was the juicy fruit?
I don't know.
It was fucking weed.
Was it weed?
It was so good. I don't know. Fucking you can go to the store and get this shit now.
Now, yeah.
You can go to the store. It makes me insane. I was up so Florida, for those who don't know.
I haven't enjoyed smoking weed in decades.
No,
I
it's not that.
I enjoy taking it edible when I have like a night and like the first half of the next day free.
I remember when I first got into smoking weed, I was dedicated to like building up a tolerance so that I could do it socially. Right? Which is hard to do.
That's a weird thing to have as like a
Personal
You
goal.
want to be cool. I liked
Yeah.
I liked cool music. I liked alternative people. Everybody was smoking weed but me. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to establish this as something that I'm available to do. Like this is if I want to hang out with these cool people, I need to be able to smoke their drugs.
you can be bad at smoking weed and still smoke it. You know that, right?
Yeah, but not when you're
Not when you-
not 14-year-old me.
I did. But all my friends
I
were
was bad
fortunate
at
Yeah,
too.
well, you were already getting pussy on your skateboard at that time. I was wearing like a brown leather jacket. I was like, I thought that was cool.
The first time I tried to rip
History professor looking ass.
the first time I tried to rip out of a giant bong, I was probably like 13.
Yeah.
And I coughed into the bong and shot the nug of weed across the room. So I kind of always hated smoking. I mean, I liked being high, but I hated like the ritual
Yeah, that
Like-
was kind of the reason.
and the pressure. There was I don't know about where you guys. When did you come to?
Gone to Florida?
Yeah.
I want to say it was like 2000 and.
So you're already a teenager.
How old were you?
I was 16.
16?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and you.
I was about 13 when I came here.
Yeah. So
And I had already had a summer of like my older brother training me on how to be cool. So
Yeah.
like I'd been going to parties. I had hosted a toga party with all my brother's like 19, 20-year-old friends. 21 to 22-year-old friends. I'd been a privy to many a cool encounter and done plenty of drugs at this
Right.
point to like get to a situation where I could be cool in Florida. And it actually worked really well. And I made a lot of friends and had a lot of fun.
Oh, good.
I don't know. When I was growing up, in St. Augustine is, well, now it's a lot of things, but it was notoriously a stoner town.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
For a long time.
Yeah.
It's changed a lot.
It was-
It was surfing, skating, smoking weed,
Maybe
drinking
drink
beers.
Yeah, which
Fishing.
which is annoying because that's
Fishing,
still
yeah.
what everyone wants to do, pretty much. But it's
No, it's our circle. It's our circle.
Cool people. Cool
it's
people
our
that listen
circle
to
of
cool
people who have
music.
been here for a while. It is.
But there was
Because I meet people who haven't been here for that long, and they like are like, "Ugh, there aren't any clubs here, and I'm like,
clubs. Go
The
fuck
fuck?
yourself.
go to Jacksonville, bitch.
drive
Like,
fucking 45
Yeah,
minutes.
go to the beach, bitch.
Fucking idiot.
anyway, there was such a, like, as even like a 12, 13, 14-year-old kid, there was so much social pressure to fucking smoke weed and like do it right.
Yeah.
And, like,
Yeah,
fucking,
yeah, 100%.
I mean, I don't know if that was the same where y'all were at,
Of course.
but it was,
Honestly, no. Like when we moved here, there was an immediate, because I grew up just outside of New Orleans, which you would think
So they were forcing.
Like-
The pressure was to drink Sazerac.
it was. I was gonna say smoke crack, but
You need
No.
to drink Sazerac and play the tuba.
music. Yes,
Wop, wop,
actually,
wop, wop,
honestly,
wop, wop.
music was very much like you started music programs in 4th grade, 10 years old. But either way,
You need. I just drank coffee.
you get a little bit went in the out hole.
hey, I mean,
Some went in his out hole.
if you don't cough, you don't get off.
Why do they call it coffee? You need to drink this cognac and get this gumbo. That's what it was in your high school.
I got a gumbo thing that I'm going to show you later, Riley.
It was
Oh, yeah.
jambalaya, actually.
Oh,
but anyway, there was, I will say, I was 45 minutes outside of the city. So I was, not in New Orleans proper, but there was a very immediate shift in like, I felt like in Louisiana, there was more to do.
Yeah.
St. Augustine in 1993, when I moved here, there was not really fuck all to do.
Smoke weed?
Yeah, it was beach
Yeah.
and go to the fucking little ass mall we had here, and that
The
was
small,
goddamn about it. Like where I grew up, we had the school closest to my house. I'm sure several of them, but I know the one closest to my house used to have a fucking dance every month, like the first or last Friday of every month.
That you and your gang would go up against like the Jets and you guys would have a dance off.
No, it was just fun times. It was the first time I fucking put my hands on a girl's booty and had her smile about it. So I was like, yeah, this is cool. Slow dancing. I remember my first slow dance, I was watching everybody and all the guys that were there with their girlfriends, they put their hands on their girls' butts.
Oh yeah, you do the behind on top of the butt.
Yeah.
Nowadays it's the underbutt.
Well, it was the underbutt then too, trust
Yeah.
me. And I was like, I can't do like, like asking girls that I don't know to dance. And I'm like, so I'd start small at the back and then I'd be like, this okay.
This okay?
Okay.
You a little lower? Little lower?
And then I get a little peck on the cheek and I'm like, oh, okay, booty. But yes, it's wily fun times in the early 90s.
In Detroit, let me finish.
So I will say, so we had that. We had the skating rink. We had a really fucking cool mall that had multiple arcades and movie theater. And there was just stuff to do, I feel like, more where I grew up. And then we moved here and there was like this immediate shift in like kids that I met at like late 12, early 13 were already like smoking cigs and smoking fucking weed and just doing sort of, I don't want to say ratchet shit, but just like beach rat fucking St. Augustine
cool
shit.
kid teenager shit.
But like there was this shift almost overnight. So we moved here and then because I used to go to Brazil every summer.
Yeah.
We moved here.
Must be nice.
I was in St. Augustine for like a week and then I left to go to Brazil.
Mm.
So I met like one kid in my neighborhood, Sean Nevins, who I'm still friends with today. We hung out for like a week and then I was like, well, all right, I'm going to Brazil. See you later. And then we came back and the house that we had moved into was like a rental. And so when we came back, my parents had already bought a different house, same neighborhood, just different area of the neighborhood. It's a huge neighborhood.
Must be nice.
I don't know how to respond to that, but
I'm not asking you a question. I'm making a statement.
they had sold a house and bought another house.
Must
That's
be nice.
Typically how it goes. I'm sorry for your terrible upbringing. I don't.
Fucking me too.
I'm not responsible for answering for your parents.
Wow, you're really
decisions.
bringing it down hard. I'm just saying it must be nice.
Yeah. You keep saying it must be nice. I'm going to bring the hammer down, son.
Oh yeah, I was going to Brazil all summer and my parents bought a new house.
So anyway, I came
we were
back.
there for 3 months and we got a second house, but it took a second.
I came back. It wasn't a second house. It was the first one was a rental. They moved out
Okay.
while my sister and I were
So
gone.
there were two.
Anyway, to what?
It was the second place that you lived that was a house.
Yeah.
It was your second house.
It was like the third place I lived that was a house in my whole life.
Must be nice.
Fuck you. But yeah, when I got back, there was like then we started school and all that shit, and like I said, there was like this weird immediate shift where it was like surf culture that didn't exist where I came from.
Mhm.
Skate culture. Luckily, I already skated when I was there, so skate culture translated really well. But like honestly, most of the kids that I met at that point, like St. Augustine, didn't have a big skate culture yet.
The skate culture, the translation there, when did that translate into getting pussy?
Around like a year and a half later when I went into high school.
Just wondering.
Oh yeah.
It never did for me. That's why I started playing music. And that
Yeah,
worked.
Two different kinds of skateboarder, okay? There's the shirtless cool one that gets chicks, and then there's the not as cool one that is shirtless but shouldn't be, probably. That was me.
It's on a longboard. That guy's on a longboard. But there was this weird like shift where it was like, and because I grew up like skating and stuff like that, I was like, well, yeah, I want to learn how to surf, and it was a nightmare. It was a weird time to move.
And that's the thing. Like, you move in, you want to surf. what are all the surfers doing? They're smoking the ganja. You got to get into the circle if you're going to get in the circle. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Except
And being dicks, kind of.
when I go, yeah, exactly. Because young kids in general are always dicks.
Well, also St. Augustine had like a very, and a lot of surf towns are this way. Like
not-
literally, you hear a ton of stories like California,
it's hard to break into the
like
surf
Jersey and
culture.
stuff like that. Like it's very like
You gotta get a
this is. Are you a
surfboard.
fucking local?
You gotta-
this surf spot
You
is
got to
for
hang out
locals,
with Lori
motherfucker.
Petty.
Yeah.
You got to
Very
train on the
gatekeepy.
beach, right? Get in there, and then you got to fight the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and Patrick Swayze has to come
Is
help
this-
you out.
Are you?
And
are you
then
doing
after
fucking
that-
Point Break.
Yeah, and then after that, then you could get in, and then you think that the Red Hot Chili Peppers might be like the guys who are robbing the banks around here.
Yeah.
You're wrong though. That raid turns
Yeah,
out
it's your
bad.
guy.
And then it turns out it's Patrick
Yeah,
Swayze.
it's your friend.
Yeah.
It's your friend Patrick.
Okay, so weed.
Yeah, get back into the notes. We could do this all day long.
Yes, exactly. We
This
we
whole
did
episode
Patreon.
is just going to be us telling weed stories.
I mean, honestly, I could keep doing that. Pause.
Everything up to-
And we're back.
God damn it.
Again, just evidence that he doesn't understand the editing process.
I do. It's just annoy you. It's a bit. It's a bit.
You're a
This is
bit.
definitely a bit.
It's a bit.
You're a
We had a
bit.
little break because I suspect this is not going to flow naturally into the next thing. Riley's wife dropped off some spaghetti that we're not allowed to eat.
You guys want some spaghetti? Need some spaghetti on the microphone?
Call me spaghetti.
I want my name to be spaghetti. Okay, what are we talking about today?
Jesus Christ. Where did we
I
leave off?
got it.
Where did we leave off?
We're not going to go back to where we left off because we were doing non sequiturs that never went anywhere. Okay.
I feel like we had just finished up a non sequitur, so you can jump into the next part.
Okay, cool. Cannabis.
Yes.
Do you know what it is?
It's the marijuana
It's a
plant.
gateway drug to heroin. Everyone knows. Now, so historically, cannabis usage has been prevalent throughout society since essentially the beginning of time,
Yeah.
right? It is not until very recently that there have been laws outlawing it.
Silly.
Because, I mean, for a good portion of history, the idea of outlawing a plant was absurd.
Insane.
Because it just grows. What are you going to
Insane.
not like? It takes a very controlled populace.
I feel like the first time I said insane, the in didn't come out, so it sounded like I said sane.
Sane.
It's very sane.
Sane to.
It's
have-
very sane to make a plant illegal.
The evil plant.
There are a myriad of reasons why one would make a plant illegal. But the main topic that I want to address here today, now that we've digressed from
Yeah,
our
by the way-
hour-long conversation
By the
about
way,
getting high.
if no one listening to this has clocked this yet, none of us smoke weed.
Yeah, that's true.
None of us smoke weed.
I don't
mean,
have any problem with it.
I used to smoke. We all
We all used
We all
to.
used
all
to.
the time.
None of us do now. I'll do the occasional edible, but
So we can all do the hours of all the drugs and crimes we've committed conversation, which is a favorite.
That'll be a Patreon
You know,
topic.
as a sober person, if I ever
Patreon. I think we covered a lot of it today.
when I find myself in
I admitted to dealing drugs.
if I find myself in a circle of like cool people who are like drinking and doing drugs or whatever, I could just do the I had my fill, had your fill. Oh man, I've had enough. That's all. You know, I could do the old head.
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
like poof. I smoked my share, buddy.
Okay, Unk.
You know? Yeah, exactly. I guess I would be the unk.
You're talking like an Unk.
Yeah, unk.
I hate it
That's because you're such an unk.
because I'm the unkiest of all
Why
of
don't
us.
you wake up, old man? You know, to the cool things kids are saying. I don't know what the fuck kids. Who gives a shit?
No, I hate it.
I started woodworking. I don't give a fuck about what kids
Yeah.
say. I built a shed in my backyard to hold my power tools.
My child keeps sending me videos of like, even he thinks it's dumb, and it's like,
Yeah, because your child is already of an older generation. Isn't he like 20?
already
no,
an
he's
Unk.
20. He's 20.
Yeah. 20
But he-
is 20's passe.
But there's like people his age that are doing this like everything something maxing looks
looks
maxing,
yeah,
aura
ball
maxing,
Ball maxing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's ball waxing.
The ball maxing. It's when you play with your balls all the time. But you also got to
You just
inject.
keep pulling them to
You
stretch
got
them
to
down.
inject like Jello into him or something to like get the sack real taut.
Gross. Talk about
I mean, ball
cannabis.
maxing.
Talk about cannabis for the love of God.
So cannabis, the origins of cannabis in general start in Central Asia, particularly around regions like.
I mean the origins of smoking it.
No, we're talking about
The
the
plant.
actual etymological beginnings of the plants.
Interesting. Okay.
Right. Because cannabis.
I would have thought it was just here already when
Well, no,
humans
what do you,
evolved
the,
into.
the oldest tree on the planet is roughly 2,000 years old.
Okay. Okay.
So the crops like cannabis.
You're saying even though we know where it started, does it predate humans?
I mean, not predate humans, but most of human history or loggable history. So we got figuring about 10,000 years.
Okay.
Right. In that time, there were other
oldest,
strains.
Did you say the oldest tree is 2,000 years old?
About 2,000 years
The
old.
oldest one's still standing.
The oldest one's still standing
Right,
around
okay.
Joshua Tree. You know, those,
Right.
The, what are they called? The something firs.
The
Douglas firs? No,
Josh,
that's
the
different.
Josh firs.
You know, the Joshua trees.
Yeah.
But so like the actual origin of cannabis starts in Central Asia, particularly around regions like modern day Mongolia.
Oh my God, I was going to say Mongolia.
Yeah, so Mongolia, like there is a tradition of Mongolians smoking cannabis or using cannabis for bowstrings or cloth or what have you, because hemp and various cannabis sources have been used as like really adaptable materials that you can make versatile materials. You can make all kinds of shit. Paper, cloth, you know, what have you.
And if you smoke enough of it, you can go.
Good.
There he is from the shadows. You see him?
But yeah, so humans specifically.
That wasn't a joke.
Archaeological
Which is
evidence.
good timing.
Archaeological evidence suggests that humans started using cannabis about 10,000 years ago. That's about as good as we're gonna get fossil records. Before that, because the cannabis we're talking about 10,000 years ago is like a totally different plant than what we have now.
Probably, yeah.
You're talking about wild cannabis. Wild cannabis would have psychoactive properties and be used for fibers, and then hemp later is like a breeding of these strains that would be like without the psychoactive chemicals.
Right.
And then marijuana becomes, and that is just the psychoactive chemicals.
Right.
Because you really can't make fucking cloth out of marijuana. Like you can, but it's still going to be, it's meant to be dissolved and smoked, you know?
You can smoke my clothes, bro. Just fucking light up my clothes.
You'd always meet
bro.
some fucking hippie that would say, like, I just wear hemp. I only wear hemp.
And clothes are so smokable.
I smoke my underpants if I need to.
I feel like
bro.
I've
I've been
seen-
smoking my socks all weekend, bro.
I feel like I have personally seen numerous people smoke like a hemp necklace before.
That's the most idiotic
And
shit
then
I've ever
they'll
heard.
be high, but it'll be because they just like fucking total oxygen loss.
Yeah. Just burned out like a, you know,
just
a
carbon
good,
monoxide. They're just woozy.
good 10% of their brain cells are gone.
So like, yeah, so early humans would use hemp fibers or cannabis fibers for, you know, ropes, nets, things like that.
Sure.
And some of the earliest impressions on pottery, because decorations for pottery would often be, you know, flowers or things like that, just as decorations. There are a lot of hemp plants used in that, and a lot of hemp fibers used in pottery, shingles, things like that. It's been like a really prevalent fibrous tool, like hay almost.
Yeah.
Forever, right? One of the earliest confirmed uses of cannabis for its psychoactive properties comes from burial sites in Western China,
Okay.
right? So like at a wake, people would be like, all right, let's get a little high for this. You know, like we're sad. Let's get a little lifted. You know, we're talking like 2500 BCE.
Let's giggle a little bit.
That would be like your high THC cannabis strain was burned as like a funeral rite.
Sure.
You know, kind of like the Catholic incense, you know, they would just like, they'd be doing a funeral in a hut and they would just smoke up the, like a hot box it.
Hot box the fucker.
Right? Everybody get a little in touch with their spirit here,
Sure.
you know?
I mean, I think everybody knows like the you know, the Native American like peace pipe shit wasn't necessarily tobacco.
No, I mean, there'd be tobacco, there'd be forms of hemp, but there'd also be a lot of different herbs involved in that, you know?
The proprietary blend, I think. Is what
Yeah.
we're talking about.
Yeah. This is where you get the Northern Lights.
This is our proprietary blend. We can't divulge the ingredients. I'm sorry.
So China is one of the first civilizations with written records about cannabis. The Emperor Shennong died around 2700 BCE, is said to have cataloged cannabis as a medicinal plant.
Jesus, 5,000 plus years ago.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Wild.
And this is an emperor who's like, he's got his own stash. And like,
Shit, almost 6,000 years
he
ago.
had it logged and recorded in his stash. Like in his book, he'd be like, yeah, use this strain for this strain for that. And it was like a royal medicine,
Yeah.
right? It treated treatments for pain, rheumatism, constipation. Like this, I got this one, makes me shit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever had that strain,
no.
but cool.
I don't know if you cough enough, I guess. But like hemp was really essential to Chinese society, early papers and stuff like that, clothing and cordage.
Yeah.
That's if you look, say you see any movie that's doing something in ancient China, most of those buildings, like most of the houses, most of the carts, all this stuff with rope are using hemp ropes.
Right.
Right. It's like, it's so absurdly prevalent in this society at this point that it's like, it's really just fucking grass.
It was
You
what
know?
was available there. You know, there are other areas in Polynesia and stuff like that use coconut fibers. There are other areas
exactly.
that use
Consider
bamboo
the
fibers.
coconut,
Yes, Moana. But there were, but every region sort of had a thing that was like the crop that had the best fibers for making rope and clothes and whatever.
Something really interesting about cannabis usage throughout history is that it's like, it's one of those instances where you can catalog the growth of usage throughout the world, the kind of the way that you can watch like cultural bleed. You know, like, okay, so it starts in Mongolia at this time, and by the time you get to like 2000 BCE, then it's made its all the way to India.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not naturally progressively growing in all these places for the most part. Though there were plenty of strains in like the North Americas already, which again could be very easily associated with like ancient peoples bringing plants and fibers across the land bridge from Asia.
Yeah.
Right. So, but like heading down into India, Indonesia, and fucking further west into Europe, you know, there was no real usage of this. And because it didn't grow there, you know,
It'd be really cool if it was just one guy with a hell of a distribution network.
Johnny Hempseed, yeah. He's just walking around casting them to the side.
No, just one guy who was just like
The world's greatest dealer.
Yeah, like in a trap house somewhere, and everybody was coming to him, and he just like it's all going out. Like what's his name? The acid guy in the 90s.
Oh, fucking what's his
Something
name?
Picard.
John Luke?
It wasn't Jean-Luc Picard, but that's what I always think. It might be Pickard.
I can't remember this guy.
I can tell you his name right now.
Is that one of the Merry Pranksters or whatever?
What? No,
No,
it's the
Mary
guy that made like all of the acid
Oh, we talked about this.
in the whole country for like a couple of decades.
Yeah, and then that was around that.
William Leonard Pickard or Picard.
William Leonard Picard.
Pickard.
Ah.
So it might have been Pickard. Either way. Yeah.
So yeah, this one guy is just distributing this over the course of 8,000 years.
Yeah.
So anyway, so cannabis makes its way down to India.
Have you read the Bible?
Me,
Some of those guys-
several times, several
Some of those
versions.
guys lived a long time.
Yeah, Seth, the second to Methuselah.
Yes.
Yeah. So in India, cannabis took on a more like spiritual and ritualistic role. Right? In general, it would be used in religious ceremony.
Mm.
You know, previously you find in like, you know, Mongolia, China, you know, you get evidence of people like getting high, you know, at a fucking wedding or something, you know, but like in India, it's like, hey, we're going to go pray and then we're going to get fucking ripped and see God. Vishnu is going to come down.
Before Dr. Jones watches me pull someone's heart out of their chest.
Yeah, this strain is called Kali Ma. Tastes like monkey brains.
No time for love. No time for weed, Dr. Jones.
Oh, fuck. There's a joke in there, something about like Shorty would actually just be referring to like part of a joint.
Short round. Just that's the kind of joints he rolls up in short rounds.
So cannabis shows up in the Atharva Veda is one of the 5 sacred plants. The Atharva Veda, if anyone doesn't know, is like a ritualistic ranking of Indian ceremony in Hinduism.
Okay.
Right. So cannabis shows up as one of the 5 sacred plants that you can do in ritualistic ceremonies.
Interesting.
It's associated with the god Shiva.
Okay.
So the varying
That's
forms.
the one with all the arms.
Yeah, Shiva's a bunch of arms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then there's Ganesha too, also has arms.
But he's an
it's
elephant
The
now.
elephant, yeah.
Also, Kali has a lot of arms, and she looks kind of like Shiva, but she's got crazy eyes and a tongue. And
Yeah, well
skulls around her neck.
that's a doom god. That's a blood god.
But
Yeah.
Shiva was the hot ice lady from Final Fantasy. No?
I don't know.
Which
I wish-
Final Fantasy is that?
All of them.
You know, I've never finished a Final Fantasy.
I feel like I just found out that Drew's been cranking his piece to fucking Final Fantasy for years.
Digital ass, yeah.
For years.
Dude, yeah.
I'm fucking...
You get into Final Fantasy 7, everything's all cubey. You get like
Yeah.
those pointy boobs.
They got Tifa's got the big pointy
Yeah,
knockers.
big
I wanna
pointy
know what-
boobs,
Lara
yeah.
Croft.
I want to know what you're
I'm
cranking to in
fucking-
Final Fantasy 3 for
I-
Super Nintendo.
I prefer
I'm digging
Lara
those
Croft's.
pixels.
I prefer Lara Croft's just triangular boobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best. It's like a throwback to the 50s where they wear those like bomber
Fucking-
bras.
Her
you know?
Tesla Cybertruck boobs.
Yeah, exactly. So like a few different forms of cannabis that would show up in India around 2000 BCE would be bang, which is or bong, which is BHANG. Might actually be bong. That could be cool. It might be the origin of the word bong.
It might actually
It
be.
may actually, because it's a drink made with cannabis.
Okay.
So cannabis and liquid together, you got a bong,
Yeah,
baby.
you can buy those at the liquor store now.
Yeah,
I just had a like vivid flashback to getting in trouble in 8th grade. I had a Billabong shirt, but it said bong really big on it.
Yeah, I remember that shirt.
Yeah. I got in trouble.
Billabong.
It's like a little circular design.
Yeah,
Really
yeah.
nice, yeah.
And then you
100%
can't have it. And you're like, no, it's referring to a small circular pool predominantly found in Australia.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I told the
Yeah, it's
principal.
fucking kangaroos hang out in it and might drag you into it to your death. Also, there's a really popular Australian folk song about a hobo drowning in one and then haunting it.
That's what I said.
It's Tom Waits covered.
Yeah.
To great effect. Waltzing Matilda. Okay.
Oh my God.
So
Yes.
anyway, so you had bong, ganja, which is the flower tops, everybody knows.
Okay.
And then karas, which is the resin.
And these are all Indian
These
terms
are Indian
from like
terms. From
thousands of years ago.
We're
Okay.
like 4,000 years ago.
that's crazy.
Exactly. So the idea that ganja is the Indian term that's still stuck around the most
Yeah.
is kind of fascinating. It's like thinking about like chess coming from Indian culture thousands of years ago, but we don't think of it like that.
Here
we think
I
of it
was.
as like medieval
here
Europe.
I was my entire life thinking that was just like a Jamaican term.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, there's the thing. Jamaica was an isolated country with only like Mesoamerican peoples on it
Well,
until slavery.
slaves and
Well, yeah,
and-
but that's when did that come through?
so yeah
500 years ago?
Yeah.
You know, so like
So that term
There are
crossed
no-
from India to Africa.
there you go. Wow. Yeah. So like when you're thinking about colonization in the Caribbean specifically, you would have Mesoamericans who would live in the area. You know, like the
Mind
what's
blown.
the traditional Caribbean people are they also lived in Puerto Rico.
Arawak. Arawak? No, not Arawak. Taino.
Taino.
The Taino people.
The Taino people. That would be the only ones that would live in that area, and they would be, South American.
They are a subgroup of Arawakan people, by
Yeah.
the way. So don't cut the Arawak part, but cut this part that I'm saying right now.
Yeah, so it was only
I'm not going to cut any of it. Fuck you.
it was only
Damn
after slavery came with Europeans that
Did
would
you
get
say
like,
I'm tired of this?
Yeah.
you would get African
tired
culture.
of editing bullshit. You're just getting the fucking raw
I'm
feed.
tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad. Okay,
Too high for this.
shit, where was I?
That's a
Fuck.
joke. I think some people from my work might actually listen to this, so I do not.
Oh, no.
Drew
partake.
does not indulge,
No.
nor do I. Patrick does sometimes.
The edible kind.
Sure.
The drinky ones are kind of fun too.
He also will sometimes inject black tar heroin into his penis.
Straight into my
Right in his
dick.
dick vein.
Eats a ball
No, I put
of
it not in my vein. I just
hashish
right into the
and
urethra.
walks into the desert to have spirit journeys.
If you squirt it into your urethra, that's the money shot, baby.
Yeah, one of those little turkey basters.
I can get you like a straight catheter from work. We can
Hell yeah.
shove that bad boy up there.
Fill the bag up with heroin and dump it in me.
Dump it in me.
Put it in my bladder.
Bladder's pretty venous. It should be fine.
Yeah. Oh God. Okay, so in India they use it for religious rituals, meditation, pain relief, and appetite stimulation, which is a big deal because India is known for very, very, very spicy food.
Yeah.
Right?
Hell
Something
yeah.
you should know about that culturally is that not everybody wants to eat that shit. Doesn't matter where you're fucking from. Nobody wants like 9 chili, like whatever the fuck.
I sincerely do, but
Sometimes,
yeah.
yeah, but like, have you ever had highest level Indian spice food?
yeah.
It is fucking inedible.
Eh,
It's insane.
it's gonna hurt you.
The purpose for spicy foods historically have been to rid you of parasites.
Yeah.
That's what it kills. Whatever awful parasite is trying to live inside of you.
Yeah.
and then you shit it out.
Whatever
alive.
worm that Viking had that we talked about in our Patreon episode.
Exactly.
Should have eaten some
You
Indian
should have
food.
eaten some Indian food, but like the secondary part of that is like, fuck, I'm hungry, but all I've got is this fucking like extra death spice curry.
I'm gonna smoke some weed
I'm
and
gonna
then
smoke
it'll
some
sound
weed and then
awesome.
it'll be a little better. I
Yeah,
can
but
do
then
that,
after
yeah.
then you get high and you're like, I want scrambled eggs, but I want it on a pizza with some kimchi on top of it and peanut butter
and then
on
you,
the crust.
you just like I'm gonna have just fucking
That is what I miss most about smoking weed is how great food is.
yeah.
Yeah. And you could just put so
And I-
many insane things together and you're like, this is fucking amazing.
It's the best thing I've ever eaten.
Literally,
every
time.
time.
The thing I just said is a thing I've actually done. I wanted scrambled eggs. I had leftover pizza. I was like, I'm putting the eggs on the pizza. And then I saw the thing of kimchi, the jar of kimchi and I was like, kimchi's going on the eggs. Fuck yeah. And then
Fucking kimchi
and
eggs.
then I was like, well, the crust doesn't have anything on it. And then I saw the jar of peanut butter and I was like, I'm putting peanut butter on the crust. And that's how I ate like 4 slices of pizza.
And it was amazing.
And it was the best. And like a half a gallon of milk. Like a psychopath.
So in India, the cultural usage of cannabis.
Say it in an Indian accent.
No.
Fucking coward.
In India.
Oh my God.
In India, cultural usage of cannabis was more widely accepted, just like as a day-to-day thing. You could just get kind of high and go about your business, right? Other people, if you were in like another country and you're just walking around high, they'd be like,
I think you're way beyond where we are right now.
Are you fucking possessed or something? What is this?
I feel like somebody's been pumping marijuana smoke into the studio.
Me too.
There's a psychoactive effect.
I feel
here.
crazy right now.
It's going to turn out there's a gas leak and we all
We're all slowly dying of carbon monoxide
So
poisoning.
by 1000 BCE, it made its way into the Middle East and the Scythians, right?
Okay.
Cannabis spread into the Eurasian steppe around 1000-ish BC,
And Scythians were like northern Iran, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Mhm.
where nothing is happening anymore at all. There's not a lot going on.
Wowzers.
Yeah.
Some people call them the Scythians.
Yeah?
I don't like that.
That's a bad way to do that.
I like Scythians. I think Dan fucking what's his nuts calls them Scythians.
Dan Carlin?
Yeah, I think
Dan Carlin's pronunciation is really interesting. He always refers to Genghis Khan as Genghis.
Genghis, yeah.
But he also is heavily researched, so it's like easier to think that maybe he's right. Could be the Scythians.
Scythians?
Could
I
be
don't know.
Genghis Khan.
I don't know.
You know? I don't know. Genghis sounds not as
Dumb.
good.
Genghis sounds cooler.
Genghis is cool. Gang.
Maybe I'm just thinking of Genghis Frog from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Go
So
on.
the Greek historian Herodotus described the Scythians in 5th century BCE.
Herodotus, I think, is the normal.
Herodotus.
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 Oh, fuck off.
Herodotus. So he describes the Scythians using cannabis in steam baths. They would throw seeds on hot stones and inhale the vapor.
The seeds.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so they have a steam bath. Then so this is something that I would do on occasion.
You got to pick out the seeds and stems. Afro Man told us that.
Don't get me started. I know the whole song.
But like, so you don't want to smoke the fucking seeds, right?
Unless
but
you want
you put them on
Unless you want a fun surprise.
you could put them on a hot stone, you know?
Sure.
And they just kind of,
It's like popcorn.
yeah, it's, they just kind of fucking just release the vapor into kind of like a vaporizer, you know? Like they used to use vaporizers. Now the kids are all just vaping everything anyhow. It's the fucking future and it's stupid.
So stupid.
So dumb. Drew says he sucks at his little robot wiener there.
Robot cigarettes.
So they throw seeds on the stones and inhale the vapor. Herodotus wrote that they howled with joy, suggesting intoxication, which makes me think that Herodotus was watching these guys fuck in a bathhouse.
Probably.
Yeah, they're getting high and banging each other in their
Yeah.
butts. Yeah, that's what I would figure because it's Greek.
Yeah.
You know, that's where the term comes from. To know more about bathhouse experiences, reference
Oh my God.
our Patreon episode about the time that I went to a bathhouse in Atlanta at like 3 a.m. Okay.
Or listen to the Olga of Kiev.
Or listen to Olga of Kiev.
Episode for a different experience.
That's a different bathhouse experience.
I mean, they were blazing.
Yeah.
In the Persian and broader Middle Eastern world, cannabis was used medicinally predominantly, but later it became associated with Sufi mysticism and introspection. So this is like in the Middle East around 1000 to 500 CE, somewhere there. That's where people are getting high and thinking
CE,
about shit.
not BCE.
1000 BCE or 500 CE.
Okay.
So somewhere in
So
that like 1500 year
Okay.
period.
Okay.
That's like, but I mean, we're talking about Persia, right? Like, so like this
Yeah.
empire of eternal time. At some point, historians are like getting high and being like, what are stars? You know, like fucking,
Yeah.
why do we cry? They're just like starting to do the more, which is what I've always
Right.
done with intoxicants for the most part, is get drunk and cry.
Well, we are talking about the Persian Empire, which was historically a very long-lasting and very comfortable empire, and we've said it before. Before you start getting into things like philosophy, you got to have a day off.
Yeah. You kill
you
everybody
can't be tilling
in the area.
fields every day.
You slaughter everyone, have a decent empire, and then you can start like using your resources and working hard.
Honestly, the Persians weren't big slaughterers.
I mean, everyone's a slaughter to start.
Yeah.
That's how every empire
You got to get the first few in
exactly.
the books.
Look at Rome. Fucking
You
Rome
gotta
started out with
Right.
rape.
You got to get
That
the
was their
first
big
few in the
thing.
books, and then you go to the next town and you go, hey, see what happened to those guys?
Exactly.
You could just join us and keep
Persia-
doing what you're doing.
Persia was wildly expansionist.
Yeah,
which is the thing.
big
but,
time.
But again, as we discussed, you can't start expanding until you're comfortable where you're at.
Largely written out of history, which is crazy.
Our history, sure. I mean, we always have to
correct.
think that
Yeah.
like the rest of the world probably knows a fuckload more about the Persian Empire than we do in the United
Yeah.
States.
Yeah.
This is why we have study abroad programs. You know,
Fair.
I've studied abroad or two myself, actually.
Dumb.
So yeah, the Persian Empire, they start doing introspectives and mysticism, which is, you know, to think of mysticism as separate from like religious or spiritual practice is like magic.
Yeah.
That's like they start getting high and being like, what if we can turn lead into gold? Shit
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
alchemy and magic and yeah.
Exactly. It's like, are there demons? Because I'm seeing demons.
Yeah.
And is in the Islamic world in general around so like post that 600 to 1500 ish CE.
Okay.
Cannabis use expanded significantly with the rise of Islam as the Islamic Empire
I
started.
think in the 16
forming,
or
yeah.
in the 600s was when Islam became.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So alcohol was prohibited under Islamic law, but cannabis, lame, yeah.
Yeah.
But you can in Islam you can
Smoke a shitload of hash.
You can be intoxicated.
You
That's
can-
fine. But because the intoxicating
You can
thing
smoke
isn't the
hash
problem.
all day.
What the deal is, and if you look at it like this, a lot of religious context and law, including like circumcision
Yeah.
or kosher
Yeah.
processes, stuff
Yeah.
like that,
Is all
or
bullshit?
halal food. Not necessarily. It's attached to this spiritual aspect, but like think of like the way that halal meat is prepared. Which is usually severing the head or like really quickly slicing the throat of an animal and draining it of blood. These are sanitary practices.
I think I was
It's the
about
same
to
thing
say
with like some of the Old Testament
Yes.
stuff.
I think
Christ,
it's
Christ washing the feet of the beggars is like their feet are fucked up. They need to
Yeah.
wash them. You know?
Oh, and also if you go into Old Testament stuff like not eating shellfish.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
I think
Because
it's largely
dangerous.
because the religious, whoever was, the fucking Pharisees or fucking whatever religion, the people who were in that position were the educated people, that and whomever the royalty was. But those people were sort of the mouthpiece, right? They
Exactly.
And so a lot of these old traditions are basically a way to keep fucking the dumbasses who are out in the fields and living in fucking piss and dirt, keeping those fuckers alive, right?
Yeah,
Because they got to keep having babies. 'cause they gotta
Very,
keep,
very, very much so. Which is why
And all Christians still abide by all of that.
But yeah, if you think about, we've talked
Every
about
Christian I know doesn't eat shellfish.
who's even Christian anymore. Jeez. Fucking nerds. So yeah, so
that,
like
that might be on its way out, given some recent interactions with the Pope.
If,
So-
you,
Things have been-
if you talk to certain people of a certain religious bent in this country, we are being, what's the word, Islamified on a mass scale.
I actually really like tabbouleh, so it's fine.
Same.
Yeah, I like halal food a lot.
I feel like halal food tastes just like halal chicken tastes like non-halal chicken.
Yeah,
don't
if you're
notice
just
the difference.
If you're just a fucking Philistine, sure, why not?
Okay, well that's me.
No, it's just halal foods usually go to like halal market. That's where you get like cool like East Indian spices and shit.
Well, yeah, it's prepared differently. but I'm saying the chicken.
I like shopped at a halal market in Michigan or was it fucking Ohio?
if I
a few
get
months ago.
normal chicken
I
and
walked
I
in there-
season it with the normal shit that I season my food with when I cook, and I get regular chicken and season it the same way and put them in the pan at the same time on the same oil, the same fucking, they taste the same.
Again, we're talking about religious law in context. Halal foods have prohibitions against preservatives.
Yes.
It's got to be very, very fresh. It has to be done quickly and easily. So like the slaughter method is efficient and it has been thought of as cruel, but I mean, what meat industry is not?
True.
But it also like if you're looking at an independent halal market, it's usually like that goat got killed that day and they've got it today and tomorrow and then it's got to go.
Right.
Which is way, way fresher and healthier than a lot of stuff because there are
100%.
prohibitions in Islam about serving meat that's more than a certain amount of days old. It's essentially
Right.
it's like a USDA approval thing from like ancient Islam.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, there are flies on it. Get rid of that shit. Unclean.
God damn
Unclean.
it. They're Islamifying this whole country.
I don't know. Whatever.
How dare they not let us put
Maybe we'll be a
preservatives in
little
the meat?
fucking healthier and
Gives
have
a
less
shit.
plastic in our fucking balls.
I don't care about anything.
That's a lost cause, buddy. The plastic's gonna keep storing in our balls.
But so under Islamic law, alcohol is prohibited generally. But well, I think we can all agree that alcohol is an unhealthy thing. But like, I mean,
I'd rather deal with a high person than a drunk person.
there are
Word.
there are health benefits sometimes to using alcohol in varying contexts. It's a blood thinner or
Sure.
just as like
They go back and forth on the have a glass of red wine.
Yeah,
thing,
exactly. And there's stuff to it, and I'm obviously nothing. I'm not against alcohol. It's my favorite thing. I want some now, but get that out of my face. What are you doing?
I just tried to hand my beer to Riley, and
Drew
he
just hands me this
freaked out.
bottle of
And there's a
tequila
bottle of vodka.
that's in this
Another
in the
Vodka.
studio.
It's vodka.
Another alcoholic in recovery over here holding a bottle of tequila.
It's vodka. God damn it!
Whatever. Who
Whatever.
gives a fuck?
Your brother bought it anyway. The fuck was I gonna say?
You weren't saying anything. I was.
I was. No. So what's funny is like it is a taboo publicly. There are a lot of people who drink in Islamic countries.
That's true.
At home.
That's very, very true. And in fact, there are a lot of things in Islamic law that say that it's permissible to drink alcohol if you're in a culture that drinks alcohol.
Yeah.
Because sort of like what am I trying to say? Like not an undercover thing, but it's like when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Like
Right.
there are a lot of permissibilities involved in that sort of a thing. But regardless, with alcohol being prohibited in the Islamic world, cannabis occupied this great gray area, and they started using hashish.
Yeah.
If you're not familiar with hashish, it's essentially the resin from the cannabis plant.
Mm-hmm.
It's thought of as like a concentrated cannabis, but the traditional Islamic hashish would be literally people going out into fields to gather crop for fibers or even just like gather the ganja for smoking.
Right.
But they would wear these leather aprons, and the resin from the plants would gather on the apron, and they just peel it off in this roll.
Mm-hmm.
And then it would be smoked, or you could use it as an oil or like a topical treatment or eaten. There's this great story actually about
Interesting.
Alexander the Great eating a ball of hashish and wandering into the desert and like having this vision of his conquests.
Huh.
So like at this point in culture, it's been around so long, it's this like superfluous thing
Yeah.
that it makes itself known in the world as like a big part of culture. This also kind of leads its way into opium as well, talking about like gateway drugs.
Yeah.
But like the prevalence of being able to use smokable intoxicants makes its way into the Islamic world as well, coming from China. Then you start smoking opium, and that leads into heroin. So kind of like the gateway drug thing is tied into it.
Right.
But you want to get fucked up, you're going to get fucked up. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, so yeah, they had recreational intoxication. There were spiritual experiences and medicine all through the Islamic world. And by the time you had like crusaders going into the Islamic world to capture Jerusalem, or just Christian culture in general developing and clashing with the Middle East, that's where cannabis starts making its way into medieval Europe. So around
let's
like
get fucked up.
so like 500 to 1500 CE, which is obviously a huge frame, but there's a million historical instances.
But there's
right?
how many crusades in that amount of time?
Exactly. And then just Silk Road shit and trade and exploration and all this jazz. So in Europe, cannabis was mostly not used recreationally, but it was really, really valued as fiber. So it was used for hemp very strongly. Mostly at the time in Europe, they were just drinking a fuckload of alcohol.
Yeah, that tracks.
Are you going to say something, or are you just
No.
just lipping the microphone?
Yeah.
So yeah, hemp was really critical for rope and sailcloth. A big deal working for island nations, right?
Okay.
Now we're working on hemp making its way to the western front of like the ocean.
Right. The West.
The west, the far west,
The known West.
the undying lands.
We are the West. We are the far West.
That was sorry. I was trying to do a Lord of the Rings thing there. So Old Toby, finest weed in the South. Okay.
Oh my God.
But yeah, it was like really important to have this. Like,
Your love of the halfling's leaf has clearly dulled your senses.
Yeah. I really, there's something in this fucking shed today.
It's hot and we're talking about getting fucked up.
Yeah, maybe that's it. I'm just
So-
like flashing back.
Yeah,
I
I'm
feel
getting-
high.
Getting high, like flashback high.
I don't think it's a thing.
Hemp was critical for all this shit.
Psychosomatic.
It was also really strategically important for maritime powers.
Quick, somebody crack my back.
Get a flashback going.
Release that sweet THC.
And it was prescribed for pain and inflammation and shit like that
Yeah.
by witches because it's Europe. And yet it was used in herbal tea, which is a big deal because at the same time, when England specifically, or even like European powers
Right.
are starting to find tea from China, right, and then
England,
import it,
France, the Dutch.
all sorts of herbal shit, because tea wasn't just specifically tea leaves. You'd also like put flower petals in it and shit like that. So
Yeah.
like, what is it? Earl Grey is like black tea with lavender, right?
Sure.
So like, yeah. So like a lot of tea still is like combinations of flower petals and stuff.
Right.
So they're getting cannabis teas and things like that, and then they start getting cannabis as this import and fucking
Oh, yeah.
making stuff with it. And yeah, but they're still pretty much drunks because what Europe has been like feeding off of beer essentially for thousands of years at this point.
Sure.
You know, and then whiskeys and vodkas and things like that.
Yeah, opium.
Opium, again, this is with the same sort of trade with China.
Yeah.
Like, you got to open that like Eastern European gateway into Russia and China.
We are going to do an episode at some point about the opium wars.
Oh yeah. Fuck
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I love that.
'Cause
This is some of the best ones.
That was very European driven
Yeah.
in order to keep China from. Anyway, good.
Anyway, there's little evidence of widespread psychoactive use compared to like Asia or the Middle East in Europe. But then when we get to the early modern period, it's like the 1500s to the 1800s, at this point cannabis is global.
Right.
It is fully spread out.
Right.
Right. And there's, again, huge evidence of use of cannabis in Mesoamerican cultures or, you know, usually in the Western United States areas, the tribal usage around there. Most of North America would be tobacco, but there are cannabis strains that are native to like California, Oregon, Washington areas.
Yeah.
Going up into like British Columbia.
Some things never change.
You know, bunch of stoners over there. So yeah, cannabis is global by 1500. Hemp is so valuable that some governments require farmers to grow it, including the United States at a certain
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, early colonial days,
Yeah,
right?
colonial America, farmers grew hemp for rope and sails,
Yeah.
and you know it was super important because in
I
colonial
want to
America,
say Thomas Jefferson had
Yeah.
a shit ton of hemp.
yeah, he grew
growing on his-
hemp.
He was a hemp.
Around like Monticello.
I don't want to say he was a hemp farmer.
No.
He had people.
Slaves that he fucked.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
Yeah.
Thomas Jefferson, slave rapist, I believe, is like that's one of our old bits.
That is an old bit that
Yeah.
you went back to like the first 5
Yeah,
episodes.
that bit we used to say Thomas Jefferson, slave rapist, because historically he was a slave rapist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
He
where the
also
name,
wrote the Declaration of
that's where the name
Independence.
came from.
But then he raped a bunch of slaves.
Yeah.
Specifically one. Did we discuss that I found like a TV miniseries from like the fucking mid 90s starring Sam Neill as Thomas Jefferson about his like relationship with air quotes on the radio, relationship with Sally Hawkins or whatever her name was,
Uh-huh.
who was the slave that he had
Sure.
like 15 children with or some shit.
Did that happen in the same universe as the Jeffersons?
Ooh, interesting.
Wheezy!
No, but I think that was an interesting.
Oh, boy.
I think that was a really interesting show. One, because Sam Neill from Jurassic Park is playing Thomas Jefferson and is like 40 years older than this lady playing young Sally.
Oh, no.
But also because for some reason, every black actor on the show that's portraying a slave is very dark skinned, and just Sally is very light skinned.
Oh, that's
And
a
it's
problem.
portrayed as this like forbidden romance.
I
and
don't
it's
like it.
oof.
I don't like that.
Woof. Yeah, Thomas Jefferson, slave rapist. Anyway, he grew a bunch of hemp too.
Yes. I feel like I knew that fact.
But yeah, like
Also the slave rape. I knew that
in
fact.
in the
too.
United States, we talk a lot about Western expansion. We did a whole series on Western expansion.
We did.
But the expansion that happened first in the United States was Southern. So you'd get like from the original colonies
Yes.
into Maine, and then we'd move down the coast. So there was
Yes.
a lot of naval expansion, and it was also the French and the Spanish.
Well,
were
yeah,
doing the same
we
shit.
landed. I say we. The Europeans landed originally in Massachusetts, and then kind of branched out from there and kept going south, and then kind of in one big swath kept going west.
Yeah, and one of the things about setting up that original landing pad on the East Coast was all of this naval stuff. So a big navy. The United States immediately had a navy. Like, it was the first thing, essentially. It's like, you're going to have a military power. You've got little forts set up. They're also set up on the coast. And we're going to be building ships. Cutting down trees, building ships, baby.
We had a navy.
Immediately. That's what I'm saying.
Not a big one.
We also, what do you mean not a big one? We also weren't a country for the first 200 years. Like, we had the British Navy, actually.
We had
for the first...
The British had the big navy.
Yeah, so for the first 200
we had a
years,
navy.
The first 200 years that people were settled on the fucking continent, we had the biggest navy on Earth.
Well, yeah, by default, the British. But I mean, it wasn't until World War I that the U.S. really started making like a naval fleet.
That's true. And then I was actually in Maine.
And
a
it
while
wasn't
ago.
that big. And then World War II was when we just started cranking out ships like they were fucking, name a thing.
Like they're your hog.
Like Drew playing Final Fantasy.
Cranking it out. I was in Portland, Maine.
Cranking that piece.
This past winter. And
I dig them pixels, man.
pony titties. But I was in Portland, Maine, and it's called Portland because it was a port, obviously. But there's like this huge...
It was a land of ports.
There's this huge monument to like the way that the entire culture of the North shifted into like maritime sailor militarism during World War I and then again World War II. Like that became the industry in like Maine and Massachusetts and shit for the longest time. But cannabis, regardless of all this, okay, so that brings us pretty much up to the modern day. But cannabis remained part of traditional medical systems in India and the Middle East and parts of Europe up until, like, I mean, it kind of still is, you know, but now it's been branched so heavily into recreational usage that if people are prescribing you holistic medicines like marijuana, then it's usually a holistic doctor, you know?
Yeah.
The industrial complex with medicine has gone so far as to, this is one of my favorite things that happens. One of my favorite things that happens with a military or with an industrial medical complex. They take things like marijuana or psilocybin mushrooms, right?
Mm-hmm.
Take the plants, then grind them up and put them in capsules so that they're pills. And
So they
now,
can charge us for it.
and now that's your medicine.
Yeah.
When they did nothing, they didn't like make it not a mushroom. They just made it a powder and put it into a capsule so it felt more like medicine, which is psychotic. It doesn't really change the dosage that they could have just been like, hey, eat one mushroom.
I think the justification is that they could dial in the exact dosage.
That is, of
and
course,
they
the
can
justification.
Control how much you take.
And then-
a doctor goes, you shouldn't have this much. You should have this much.
We could also just do that by weight, but whatever, you know? Just
You could
ano-
also just do it by...
another way for the man to find something
You
shaped
could also
well enough
just
to
do it
put
by
in your
taking a
butt.
fucking hero's dose of mushrooms and realizing that's too much.
Yeah, read Alan Watts, the book, and just fucking drift off into space.
Yeah. And then the next time you go, maybe a little less.
And you realize you can't even read the book because the book's reading itself to you.
Yeah.
All the letters are moving around like bugs. Then you turn
Yeah.
out you actually are covered in ants.
And then in 10 years, you go, that time was really fun. And then you do it again. And then you realize tomorrow it wasn't as fun.
You guys-
I remembered some things.
Do you guys know what it's like when you're on mushrooms and you're like, you think you're covered in bugs, and then you're like, wait, I am
That's never
covered in
happened.
bugs. You're like, I'm
No.
standing in an ant pile.
That neither of those things have happened to me.
No. So across cultures, you know, we have your industrial hemp usage, which becomes like a big part of the Industrial Revolution, right? Like a massive part of the Industrial Revolution, actually, because when you talk about like all the factories that all the children were dying in, a lot of them are hemp products. We're talking about clothing and rope, sails, paper, anything that was essentially fiber-based, because cotton, as important as it was also a niche market because it had to be grown especially.
It wasn't, it wasn't
like-
ubiquitous yet.
That's a fascinating part of American history to me, that we specifically talk about like cotton as the main crop, so that everything's cotton, that it's, you know, you're fucking all these kids in textile mills, or you fucking, you know, all the cotton from the slaves. And like, yeah, but the slaves were also picking hemp. Like they were harvesting like sugarcane and putting it in big
and a ton
mashers.
of stuff. A ton of stuff. Cotton for some reason gets all the hype, but I mean, cotton, tobacco.
I honestly think that
I mean-
cotton is referred to as like the big slave crop because the imagery, the stark imagery,
yeah.
right? Black hands, white cotton.
I think
know?
also because it sucks to pick.
Yeah, it's a
got big
bitch.
fucking thorns and shit.
But then at the same time, so does hemp.
Hemp has-
Marijuana and hemp are very rough. That's why it's
well, yeah, but
it's
they don't
fibrous,
have
right?
fucking thorns that'll.
No, they're covered in fucking resin. They've got not thorns, but like those little hairs that'll like fuck up your hands.
yeah.
Yeah, it's very pokey, very wooden. You know,
Yeah.
Smells like shit.
smells like shit.
Eh.
I don't know. I never like the smell of weed.
I actually do like the smell of weed.
No. Like
I-
if
it
I were to
depends.
become a pothead now, it'd be edibles or vaping it.
It
Right.
depends. If I go back to the early days when it was fucking dirt weed, no, not a fan.
Maybe that's what
But
I'm still.
now I smell like this fucking medical grade like super weed, and I'm like, that smells like orange juice. Why does that smell like orange juice?
So cannabis prohibition in the United States didn't start with like science-based anything, but it started with social and political anxieties, which I think is
Yeah.
really important.
And
To
guys
keep-
who thought jacking off was bad,
yeah, you're not allowed to masturbate because you'll go blind.
looking at you, Mr. Kellogg.
And watch this movie, Reefer Madness.
Do you ever see
But I
the
fast forwarded a lot.
fucking what's that? What's the quote from the beginning of that fucking Sublime song? It's like lived in a single bedroom.
One of them was a male, and the other two,
The other two were
female.
females. They smoked marijuana cigarettes, reefers.
Is that from Reefer Madness?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
As we've discussed before, I'm not like a huge Sublime fan.
Yeah, Sublime
but
sucks.
my favorite line that they ever wrote was, "I smoked 2 joints before I smoked 2 joints, and then I smoked 2 more."
You know something fun?
They didn't write that.
That is a Bob Marley and the
That is-
Wailers song.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
covered that song.
I smoke up the joint before.
That
I
was
smoke
a
two
cover.
joints.
Yeah.
That's a
I
Bob
totally
Marley
forgot
cover.
that.
I don't think
I've
it was.
heard the Bob
No, that
Marley
was
song.
Peter Tosh.
No.
Peter Tosh?
I think
Yeah.
that was Peter Tosh.
I thought it was Marley.
I'm pretty sure that was Peter Tosh.
Somebody else do the research on that one.
Somebody will find it.
Smoke 2 joints. All right. I'll look it up.
My favorite Bob Marley.
Don't add us. By the time you send something to us, we will have already figured it out.
Yeah.
My favorite Bob Marley.
Or
quote,
do add us if it means you're giving us a 5-star rating.
Joints.
My favorite Bob Marley quote from any song is "Come on, let me light my spliff." Lord, I need to take a leave.
It's the Toys. Toyes.
Toyes?
From Honolulu,
Oh shit! It's a Hawaiian song.
What?
I guess.
No.
In the fall of 1982, Mog and Sky, there's are 2 of the toys, or Toyes, were entertaining friends who had arrived at the home, whatever home they're talking about.
Interesting.
While jamming a rootsy groove and improvising lyrics, the hook of Smoke 2 Joints came tumbling out to the delight of party guests.
Oh, hold on a second. The Toys are an American pop girl group from Jamaica.
Toyes.
Oh, okay.
Toys or maybe Toyes.
Toys.
Toyes.
Yeah, the Toys smoke 2 joints.
Yeah, you're right.
That's cool.
I didn't know that.
Peter Tosh did do a version though.
Yeah, so did Bob Marley.
Yeah.
How about that, everybody? Everybody should tune in to.
No, bullshit. The song is often mistakenly attributed to Bob Marley on the internet and file sharing networks. Marley had been dead 2 years when the song was written.
No way.
Wrong.
Well, I blame Kazaa and LimeWire.
Peter
yeah.
Tosh and the Toys.
Oh, shit.
Wait, that's a TikTok. That could just be a mashup.
Whatever. My whole point was that,
I thought
that line is funny as fuck.
I thought Peter Tosh wrote it originally. It turns out Peter Tosh was fucking covering the song too.
That's the funniest line in the song. That's all I'm saying.
In that song, sure.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
I thought you were saying about just Sublime in general.
I'm going to have to fucking listen to
Because
this band.
if I have to pick the best, funniest Sublime lyric out of all their songs, it's he was butt raped by a large inmate and he screamed.
But the guards paid no attention.
But the guards
to his-
paid no attention to his cries.
That was on the
But the
radio.
guards paid no attention. Yeah, that was a big one. That was
Yeah.
a big one. I shamefully was, that was one of my karaoke songs for a long time before I was not a stupid ass.
That was the song. That was the first Sublime song I heard ever.
Really?
And I was like, this band fucking rules.
Because it's got that.
Yeah, it's got
the
that really
ska.
fast-paced ska.
It's got a ska thing, 'cause ska fucking rules. If Mustard Plug had done that song, it would have been good. Oh, okay. Fuck. Where was I?
I don't know.
Oh, God. Here we are in the summertime's coming back. My glasses are fogging up in this bitch.
God damn it.
How about that?
Give us money so we can buy a better AC unit.
Summertime.
That doesn't ruin our recording.
So anyway, in the United States is one of the first places to colonially start banning cannabis usage.
Stupid, dumb.
Right? Well, it also like it goes like
Hate
this. It goes like this, the fourth, the fifth, right? So fucking firstly, you have slave culture where slaves are forced to
Have you done that before?
what?
That fucking Jeff whatever thing you just did.
The Leonard Cohen reference.
Fuck, I keep fucking this up. Yeah, that's a Leonard
Okay.
Cohen song.
But like, so you get like slave culture, right? And then slaves are habitually forced to work in cannabis fields.
Yeah.
They, much like in the Middle East, can gather all this hashish resin or various
Yeah.
ganjas.
Matilda, the slaves are smoking the marijuana.
Let them.
They're,
Let them. They live like pigs.
yeah. Well, they're being lazy now. We don't want lazy slaves, Matilda.
But so like the way this works, working its way into black culture, specifically in America, Jamaica, things like this, is so the slaves work the cannabis fields.
Mm-hmm.
They have the leftovers from the harvest.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's so superfluous. It's not like you need to steal a bunch like cotton.
Right.
If you could take handfuls of cotton, you might get whipped for it. But like if you just have some shake, right, or
Right,
like
right,
some
right.
fucking just buds,
Some oil on you,
oils,
yeah.
hashy, whatever, that's just there,
Right,
right?
right.
So it starts becoming like, used medicinally and recreationally for anybody getting off of work because they've got all this fucking weed.
I can't imagine being a slave and getting high and then being like, well, now I got to depend on this fucking asshole to feed me.
That's rough. But like,
Kind of.
I mean, but that is where
I want pizza with scrambled eggs and kimchi and peanut butter.
something we reference a lot, but is not referenced much in analysis of American history, is how many things in Black American culture come from adapting to slave culture.
100%.
And marijuana usage is absolutely one of them. And then also Jamaica, the same exact
Yeah.
thing, because hemp is brought over by colonialists.
Mhm.
Then slaves are forced to work the field. And then eventually you get a revolution, you kick somebody out, but you still have this crop.
Not in Jamaica.
Not in Jamaica, but I'm talking in the Caribbean in
Right,
general.
right.
You kick somebody out, sure, but the crops are still there.
Right.
And you want to keep working those crops so that you have, food or something. You can build your infrastructure for your new country on
I think
that.
they still have the queen on their money in Jamaica.
Yeah, probably.
I think they do.
Anyway, the prohibition on marijuana being used specifically for recreational use comes from, racism. It was not the biggest thing for white people to be smoking. Tobacco was.
Right, right.
And tobacco, not banned. Tobacco is very much not banned, but it is regulated to the point that people won't be allowed to grow it without
It comes
like,
from
agricultural
Protestant
lessons.
Christianity too.
Exactly, but the Protestants, they could smoke tobacco.
Right.
Right. Not marijuana, though.
Right.
Because that is a vice. It's intoxicating, like the demon rum. After the Mexican Revolution, many Mexican immigrants came to the U.S. and they brought the term marijuana.
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 I'm not going to do those voices. You can. You're one of them.
Okay. Mota.
You're one of those guys.
La mota.
Yeah.
Marijuana.
Motorola? What? What are you talking?
Mota is like a slang
Ah.
for weed.
So they brought the term and the traditions of recreational use. So it became associated unfairly, really, with Mexican immigrants and black communities because of this, but also as like the jazz age starts to set in and more black people are doing things, they're bringing marijuana into a culture that white people are interested in because of the music.
Yeah.
And people are like, I want to smoke a reefer and go dancing to the trumpet.
I want to watch the Negroes play and smoke a marijuana cigarette.
Perhaps we can make it into a black community.
I want to smoke a marijuana cigarette with a black person.
Oh, the taboo.
Matilda! You're speaking nonsense.
But of course, like, the racist cultures of the white America, that like the same shit that's happening today, like every time that there is a crime or something terrible happens that's using a marginalized community or like any person of color, it's like they were high on drugs, whether it's a fight or a murder or a car accident or
Right,
whatever.
right.
It's like they were smoking the reefers because they are colored. And
Oh my God.
the newspaper spins in. Colored smoking the reefer. There's a sample for you.
I'm just gonna sample Pat saying marijuana.
Marijuana.
So that's where the squeeze starts to get in, because it's an angle that like fat Irish cops can be like, you stay in your neighborhood with your smoking.
Yeah.
Right. So you start to squeeze black communities.
go
that
back
kind of shit.
60 years, buddy, and you were the
It's-
fucking idiot.
Exactly. Well, it's a reason. It's a reason to kick down a door. It's a reason to arrest somebody for nothing. Also, a handy little thing that you can put in your pocket that you can toss on to somebody and be like, criminal.
Right.
You know, there's a little sprinkled some crack on them. You know.
Oh, okay, Dave
Yeah.
Chappelle.
Obviously, these sensationalist stories claimed cannabis caused violence or insanity, and the claims were really, really exaggerated. Like,
That was Reefer Madness. Yeah.
That's later. Reefer Madness comes out in 1945 or something like that.
Yeah, around 50.
And that is a hugely exaggerated, but that's still like the hopheads in the jazz scene,
Mm-hmm.
right? But the war on marijuana didn't begin until like the 1930s. That's when it really, because like even in colonial eras, it could be used for control. It could be used as a reward or a punishment. You know, same way like the British Navy would dole out rum. You know,
Right,
plantation
right,
owners
right.
could be like, here's a handful of grass for you.
Yeah.
Why don't you go get high in the shack and everyone will be happy?
Oh my God.
And you can sing a lively song and perhaps dance for my daughter's entertainment.
You and the other Negroes enjoy yourselves tonight.
Yeah, you are. Yes.
Oh my God.
toss like a bag of weed, like a fucking
Jesus Christ.
like some lord, like a bag of coins.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Pick it up. Pick up the bag of.
It's a Crown Royal bag for some reason.
Oh my God.
Drew.
Oh my God.
Fuck. God damn it.
See, this is one of the best joke of the episode.
Fuck my
It
ass.
was the best joke of the whole
God
episode.
damn it. I kind of want to stop now. Fuck.
You can't stop yet. Can't stop, won't stop. But fucking gold star, Drew. God damn it.
So the war on marijuana, fueled by like Protestantism and by, you know,
Here's a velvet bag of marijuana. What do they call it?
what?
What I think before the Mexicans
Grass, rope.
rope.
Smoke some rope. Throw this bag of rope in the
I
fire.
can't
and
imagine
dance.
I can't imagine like a British guy being like, "Here's your ganja." Like
Actually, very well might because of Indian colonialization.
maybe, but
Yeah.
that's weird to me. It
Can be. It can be. History's weird, but
That's true. You're not wrong. But it doesn't flow like I feel like it should.
in the 1930s, there was a campaign led by Jerry J. Anslinger, who headed the newly formed Federal Bureau of Narcotics.
Jerry J.
Jerry J. Anslinger,
God, I hate him.
like anus slinger. You know
I
what
don't
I'm
even
saying?
I don't even know what he did and I hate him.
He
already.
headed the Bureau of Narcotics.
Oh, well, he sounds like a fucking piece of shit.
He launched an aggressive anti-marijuana
Wait,
campaign.
he throws his middle initial J in there.
Yeah.
Is that when
It was actually joint. It was Jerry Joint Anslinger.
is that when
I was thinking Jegger.
Everybody calls him J-Dog.
cuz marijuana was miscategorized as a drug for a long. I don't think it was a narcotic. What was it?
It was miscategorized as a narcotic.
It was
Yeah.
miscategorized. Okay.
Exactly, because
It's not anymore. Now it's like still miscategorized as like a hallucinogen or some shit.
some shit like that.
I don't know.
I've never
Is it still a
smoked
class
so much
1
weed
drug?
that I saw a bunch of shit. I don't know if I told this story though. I did smoke so much weed one time that the cartoon Rock Dog about a dog that plays the guitar gave me a fucking panic attack. Because it was fucking dude. Like, so the rock is set in 1950. The Rock Dog is
Oh
the
my-
son of a Tibetan Mastiff, and
What?
Tibetan Mastiffs are in Tibet, guarding Tibet against the onslaught of communism. And a low-flying plane drops an electric guitar and a radio.
Uh-huh.
And the radio's playing Johnny Be Good, and this dog's
Of
like,
course
I
it
don't
is.
want to defend Tibet against the communists. I want to play rock and roll.
I want to play this Michael
his-
J. Fox song.
And his father's like, no son of mine is going to be a rock dog. And then I think that he defeats communism or something.
Oh my God, with rock
I
and
can't
roll.
remember if he talked about this on
Gave
the
me a
pod or not.
fucking panic attack. I was real high, and I was like, oh God, no. You can't.
Riley
I just
jumped
like
the couch,
brought
like,
all of like my issues with my
These are
father.
people dreams. These are people dreams, dog. Just be a dog. You
Dogs
don't
that
even
play the guitar. I don't even have fingers.
You don't even have thumbs. You can't even fucking do.
He didn't drop a slide.
Don't have people dreams, dog. It's too hard.
It's too hard.
It's too hard.
Stay a dog.
Stay a dog. Just enjoy it.
So Jerry J. Anus Slinger, his approach towards the war on cannabis was like linking cannabis to crime and racial fears, which is a fucking easy one.
Yeah.
Super easy. They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats.
Surprise,
you know? Like,
surprise.
it's the fucking standard racist fuckbag playbook.
It's an old bit, and I'm tired of it.
It's listen, they're bringing their jazz music, they're bringing their drugs, and some I assume are good people. So he promoted extreme and misleading anecdotes, things
Crazy.
like the fucking like the Reefer Madness style.
Yeah.
Like, they put their baby in the oven thinking it was a ham sandwich after smoking half a reefer. And he supported the production of Reefer Madness. It was like part of the Bureau of Narcotics.
A single reefer cigarette could make you go insane. You'll kill your mother.
Reefer Madness got remade as a musical.
Oh my God.
It's with fucking
Sarcastically, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, no, it's a full comedy, but it's got what the fuck is his name? Nightcrawler from the X-Men.
The Scottish guy. I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And then also Sarah Marshall from the Arizona Trash Bag from Good Place.
Kristen
Bell.
Stewart.
Kristen Bell. Kristen Bell is in
Stewart
it.
is Twilight.
It's actually a fucking real fun movie. It's worth a hangout.
She's actually got a great voice. She's a good singer.
The whole weird Reefer Madness musical is really fucking good and funny.
Cool.
So in 1937, the Marijuana Tax Act effectively criminalized cannabis through heavy regulation and taxation. Doctors were discouraged from prescribing it, and legal medicine market.
What year was this?
This is 1937.
Oh, 37. So they could still prescribe cocaine.
Yes,
Alan Cumming.
Yeah. Alan Cumming.
Alan
Yeah.
Cumming, yeah. Why?
Moving on.
God damn it.
But this is an
I
interesting
haven't
point.
said much.
You
Okay.
can't do a butthead laugh after you say Alan Cumming and expect me to not react.
I wanted
You
to
said
react.
Alan Cumming went,
So doctors were discouraged from prescribing it as of 1937.
right.
And the legal medical market for marijuana collapsed, which was at the time quite large.
Yeah.
You know, like it's medicine.
But here's some cocaine and some lithium.
Yes,
and,
because you can synthesize that in a laboratory.
Right.
You know, like you can get a bunch of coca leaves from South America.
Yeah.
You're not going to get super high on it. You can chew some and get like, woo.
Yeah.
You know, but like,
You get some energy from chewing on them.
yeah, but you're not going to be all snort high as fuck.
No.
You know? But you can do that in a laboratory.
Grinding your molars down to fucking
Right? So this is
down to nubs.
one of the reasons that like hemp farming was a big deal, because you couldn't really get fucked up on hemp. You know, it's non-psychoactive.
Right.
So you could still do that. That was like a legalized crop, but it was still heavy regulated because it was a cannabis product. Right. It's
Jesus
just another
Christ.
way to get the squeeze.
Yeah.
By the mid 1900s, there was a global prohibition in most countries. Right. So the U.S.
Do you know what year that was?
looking at, well, they're like, it changes from year to year.
Okay.
It wasn't like one blanket, like the world says no to weed.
The reason I was asking, I was going to try and
Spinning
figure out.
newspaper.
I was going to try and figure out which president was the one who, because that's a federal law.
Right.
Yeah.
So the U.S. had like pushed international pressure to lead global restrictions. The really key moment to that was a single convention on narcotic drugs, where they signed a treaty that classified cannabis alongside drugs like heroin, which is where it's
yeah, same thing.
it
of
becomes
course.
a class A narcotic.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, anyone who smokes weed, you might as well go get some heroin.
This required countries to restrict its use to medical and scientific purposes, specifically
Yeah.
under like U.S. jurisdictionary law. So it was kind of like, hey, you there, Switzerland, don't you let your people smoke weed because America says so. And so it was one of those colonialism things where it's like, we're gonna pressure you for some bullshit, okay?
It's post World War II.
Yeah,
shit.
exactly. It's like
post World War II.
It's
bullshit.
like, what was the convention?
Bretton Woods.
Bretton Woods. It's like the Bretton Woods of weed.
Yeah.
Right. America just throwing its dick around.
Well, that's exactly what happened after World War II.
Exactly.
And actually, next week's episode, we are going to expand enormously on that.
Yes.
Yes,
But anyway,
yes, next week.
This is kind of like the early motioning of what would be the global war on drugs, because at the time, like, you can get cocaine pretty easily when they're banning marijuana, right? Like, marijuana is a
Go spend a nickel
more-
on Coca-Cola.
Yeah, they're putting it. They weren't selling THC products at the time,
No.
but they were selling cocaine in stuff. And you could just go to a doctor and be
Cocaine
like, "I'm having
cola.
trouble being awake," and they're like, "Well, here, fucking take this bag of powder, put this in your face."
What you want to do is cut it up into a thin line and roll up a dollar bill and snort it in your nose. And you'll be awake until you're not anymore, and then you do it again. Over and over and over and for days.
For days and days. But don't smoke weed.
Yeah. You're going to make so many roasts for your husband.
4 in an evening.
4 roasts in one evening. Thank you, cocaine.
And you won't eat any of it. So yeah, from the 70s onward, you got the war on drugs. Nixon intensifies it. He puts out the Controlled Substances Act. Cannabis was placed as Schedule 1 narcotic in like 1968. And it was defined as having, like, the reason it was put as a Schedule 1 is it's defined as having a high abuse potential and no accepted medical use. Which is, anybody who knows anything about cannabis is fucking insane. I personally
false.
had a lot of back problems some years ago from working. I was working at this bar. I didn't realize this was the reason, but one, it was just like a hard floor with no mats. But the bar was at a weird level for me. So like if I ever leaned or had to lean over something to get to the bar, wipe it down, I was just cricking my back at the worst possible angle.
Yeah.
And it threw my back out constantly. I would have to call out of work and shit.
Probably had shit shoes too.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought, and I was drunk, so I was fucking, just my body was already shit. I thought that I was having some horrible spinal shit going on. And I was like, I'm going to have to fucking get surgery or something. And the only thing that would calm that down at all, like I could eat a fucking bottle of Tylenol.
Right.
It would barely touch it. But if I smoked any
You
weed.
want to do ibuprofen, not Tylenol.
Yeah. But if I smoked any weed at all, which I would like, it would take me be crying in pain before my wife was like, will you please just smoke this shit? I'd be like, no, it'll make me weird. But then if I smoked some, like my back would stop hurting in moments. And then I would have the fear,
So
but I would be able to sleep,
It's just muscular shit.
Exactly.
Your fucking back muscles tense to shit.
So like no accepted
Tighter
medical
than
use
a
is
hemp rope.
insane. Yeah, exactly. Squeezing all the resin out of that shit.
Squeezing all the resin out of your back muscles like a hemp rope.
Even at the time, the classification of it not having a medicinal use was very controversial because people that had been using it for their entire lives were like, what are you talking about? I've got fucking migraines. It takes care of that.
Yeah.
Fucking if I'm working all day and I don't want to drink straight gin to fucking not have sore legs or something, I can smoke this shit, play on my jazz piano for a moment, and then go to bed.
Because it's much harder for people to distill gin at home. And we've talked about this a lot on this podcast.
It's ironic, very ironic.
The almost immediate corporatization of the United States of America. Almost immediate. As soon as we ended the Revolutionary War, we immediately, and the government was complicit in this, propped up certain people to build all the infrastructure, do all the things, make all the money, and it almost immediately became corporate structure, and corporate structure comes with shareholders that need to be paid and workers that need to be squeezed and consumers that need to pay top dollar.
Yeah.
Because that's how we make money as a corporation and pay our shareholders. So it's a lot harder for somebody to have a gin still in their house.
Yeah, but they would still try
than
it.
it is for somebody to put a few fucking weed seeds in the ground and have a handful of plants.
Yeah.
So
when it comes down to it, like the reason that weed was criminalized came to, weird medical standardizations. Like we can't make it into a powder, like medical standardizations, racial prejudice.
I would argue you're not trying hard enough.
There's a lot of political opportunism because the marijuana prohibition happens almost simultaneously with alcohol prohibition.
Yeah.
And then bureaucratic expansion, just the insane amount of bureaucratic expansion that happened from 1900 to 2000 is in 100 years, we went from having basically no laws other than don't kill or steal. Like essentially like
federally
don't
on the federal
fucking
level,
rape or murder anyone and don't fucking steal shit from us, especially to like by the time 100 years passes and now we've got laws for everything. The standardization of laws is insane.
Again, federal.
There are laws
yes.
about whether or not you can walk on the sidewalk. It's like, it's huge.
Those are usually state laws.
No, not if you're naked. So there's a lot of bureaucratic expansion and then like a lot of international pressure led by the United States led to moderate prohibitions in almost every colonized country all over Africa. You imagine Africa fucking like the British going like, you can't smoke marijuana.
Right.
And the whole country's like, you mean the tree?
Yeah.
This fucking plant's been here 100 years. My great grandmother smoked this shit. Are you fucking kidding me?
It's like me saying, can you imagine knocking on your neighbor's door and telling them they can't cook fucking chicken and rice anymore?
You are no longer allowed to eat chicken. We said so.
Yeah.
And they go, fucking what? And then they pull out a gun and they go, we said so.
Yeah. The chicken's ruining the community. It's ruining the whole neighborhood. Stop cooking chicken.
But I think about like prohibitions in Africa, which, mind you, did not come up very heavily in my research. I was looking for it. And for some reason, there are just sections of African history that are not available. But like, I think about it and I'm like, okay, so the cultures that will not stop killing gorillas because that's their historical thing.
Right.
Like they will literally get themselves arrested or murdered because they need that gorilla hand.
Yeah.
Like those people being told not to smoke cannabis, like that's insane. How dare you try and control some shit like that? It's fucking psychotic. But that's worldwide. British colonials going to India, where it has been effectively used culturally and spiritually for thousands of years. They'd be like, no more of the ganja.
Okay, it's stupid, but legally it's a gray area because British was colonizing India at the time. Is it dumb? Yes. You know, I look at it more on sort of the level of in the modern day, where there are defined boundaries and stuff like that, and you have certain people in the United States government telling other countries what they can or can't do, and that's fucking nuts.
In the 19th century, European like ideology went on these like what they call like civilizing missions. So you would literally have missionary work that would go into cultures that have been traditionally using cannabis for thousands of years in order to civilize them.
Right. No,
right?
Jesus doesn't want you to smoke.
Like, no, this is a moral weakness. You know,
Get
it creates
the fuck outta
social
here.
disorder. And they're like, it creates my sandwich. What are you talking about? But yeah, that became broader and broader.
It grows in my backyard, and if I want to smoke it, I'm going to smoke it.
My association would be like the same way that the Catholic Church used agrarian culture in symbolism for the devil, which we talked about in the St. Patrick's episode. You know, the pitchfork, the horns, the hooves, right?
Yep.
The same way that was associated, Christian missionaries would go into these communities and pathologize any issues in the community as being associated specifically with marijuana. Like, oh, you don't have running water? It's because you're all stoned, you fucking animals.
Yeah. It's the you can't afford a house because you go to Starbucks too much argument.
You know, and if you go to the fucking jungle and you're trying to like you're building a church there and you're also like, well, you're promoting European ideologies and that's like sobriety, discipline, industrial labor. It really creates a workforce for you.
Yeah.
But it'd be like you'll prosper if you just stop enjoying yourself.
If you just join the machine. I like to think of it like, imagine if you were just completely wiped your brain. If you were just a blank-minded child in the backyard and okay, here's a daisy. I'm going to roll that up and smoke it. Nope, nothing. Okay, here's a daffodil. I'm going to roll that up and smoke it. No, nothing. Here's this other plant. I'm going to roll that up and smoke it. Oh, that's quite nice.
That's quite nice.
What, like, when you sort of look at it in that perspective, it's like, that's clearly how it ended up where it was. You know, it's not like there was some fucking like Breaking Bad style fucking chemist like there are now breeding strands of weed. You know, it was finding a plant. By the way, I would love to just have like a camera that could go back in time and just see the trial and error on finding like, how did we find out this is the one
a lot
that
of
gets
that's going to be caveman, chew leaf.
Yeah.
Chew leaf, put leaf in fire, burn good, make high.
Oh, feel good when in fire.
Ugg paint cave.
Now we're talking about my people.
Yeah.
But like, it's such a strange thing to go, okay, this thing that sort of like, not that it's a one-off. I mean, there are a lot of things, but to go, this is a thing that fucking just grows. It just grows. And if you want to go in your backyard and smoke every other fucking plant, you're fine. If you want to roll up a basil leaf and set it on fire and smoke it, go nuts. But if this thing is growing in your backyard and you smoke that, that's a Schedule 1 fucking...
I did have a section where I just wanted to talk about like the horrible shit that people have been subjected to for being caught using marijuana all around the world. Anything from a slap on the wrist to being raped and murdered, as happened historically all over the world.
I mean, we could do a whole episode on that.
Exactly. The punishment, just the overreach in the judicial system.
Look at what's his nuts that was president in Philippines for a while. Duterte.
Just machete in the street. Yeah.
Machete in the street. He would
take you out in a helicopter and drop you in the ocean.
Throw you, and the president of the country, would be in the helicopter
like fucking Wilson Fisk
and toss you out of the fucking. Is that comic book villain?
Yeah,
Kingpin. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he would be in you're taking a ride in a helicopter with the president, and then he just grabs you and goes,
Best day of your life.
"You smoked marijuana," and throw you out of the fucking helicopter.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That they also did a lot
Allegedly.
they also did a lot of macheteing in the street, and there was like a standing mandate for a long time to, if you killed a drug dealer in the street with a machete, leave their body there, which I think is cool. All right, I'm hanging this one up.
Why do you think that's
He's
cool?
the shoot behind the dumpster guy. Of course he thinks it's cool.
That's okay.
I mean, if you're gonna execute somebody, leaving their body on the street is kind of rad.
No other message
It's
like
bad.
that.
It does
It's
send a
murder.
message. It does
murder
send a
is
message.
bad, but like,
Yeah.
I mean, look at the optics. You're gonna send a better message than like, we killed this guy with a machete and left him on this corner. You're gonna be walking over the skeleton for forever until dogs drag the carcass away. And walking down the street and being like, "Oh shit, there's Jim being eaten by wild dogs."
Yeah.
because he
He
sold
was
fucking
slinging herb.
Yeah, he sold a dime
He
bag to
sold a
somebody.
nickel bag to somebody.
You're like, I guess weed's out. I don't think getting high is going to be worth it this
I
time.
don't think I'm gonna
bad.
sell weed
I
anymore.
promote the use of marijuana. I think that you should, if it's good for you, it's good for you. You should use it. But like, I also I like extreme measures. I don't know what to tell you.
Very, very brief personal anecdote.
You too were macheted in the Philippines.
I am currently on a corner dead and being and having my eyes
I thought
pecked
you
out by
lost
crows.
some weight.
No, so my mother was diagnosed with cancer right around the time COVID popped off. It was a shitty time, like this whole family sort of, convened around mom. And you've met my mother.
Yeah.
And she's my mom, but she rarely drinks. If she drinks, it's like a glass of wine
Mhm.
or like a beer. You know what I mean? Every once in a while, mom feels like partying and she'll have like two cocktails.
2 lines of cocaine.
Two cocktails. She'll be like, "Ooh, I want a Black Russian." This is like just some weird shit.
She's
She'll drink, like,
married.
2 of them. You're gonna have to scour that country for 2 of them. So when she was going through chemo and all that shit, I had, for whatever reason, just a lot of edibles. Oh, I had gone to Colorado for like a week, and I brought back a ton of edibles. And so I told my mom, I was like, "Mom, like, just my mom has smoked weed one time in her life, one time when she was like before I was born."
Yeah. That led to you.
I don't think it was with my dad. I think it was with some other dude. But
And that led to you.
holy shit. No, you've never seen me and my dad side by side. You'd know.
I have. You've got hair.
That is true, but we are clearly his son. Anyway, I had to like coerce, like my sister too. Like she and I like literally like, "Mom, just, it'll be, what's the worst thing that could happen? You don't like it, you hate it, and you don't do it anymore." Which she ultimately was like, "I don't know.
The worst thing that could happen is you turn on the TV, it's Rock Dog, and you have a fucking panic attack.
She ate, I gave her like the equivalent of like probably 2-3 milligrams. Like not really enough. I wanted to ease her in. And she did get real giggly. She watched some TV and, whatever. And she did it probably like 3 times over the course of a week. And I just slightly like gave her a little bit more. I had like chocolates. And I
It
just
slowly gets crazier, more
gave her-
violent.
No.
She buys a gun,
Yes.
robbing the local
She's-
liquor store.
And then she started doing heroin.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, that's the path. Everybody knows.
Every time.
Everyone knows. No, I had like a chocolate and like the whole chocolate was like 20 milligrams. And like I broke off like a little corner. I was like, "Here, try this." And then, like a little bit bigger. And I was like, "Here, okay, here." And then eventually I got her to a point where she was like the next time I was like, do you like want a little piece of chocolate or something? And, because she obviously going through shit and not feeling
Like,
great.
beam me up, Scotty.
Yeah, she's not feeling good. And she got to a point where she didn't want it anymore.
Yeah.
She's like, "It makes me feel weird," and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, "Mom, it's get the fuck out of your head. Just like sink into it. Put something cool on TV and just be painless and just not thinking about shit for a little bit." She didn't. She didn't bite. She didn't bite.
It doesn't happen sometimes. It doesn't happen for me. It used to. There was a time I could watch Aqua Teen Hunger Force
It's
for 8 hours.
It's also 70 something years at that point. I mean, she's 75 now, so we're talking about
Kinda locked
70.
in.
Yeah, it's just 70 years of self conditioning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it's different for like how everybody else gets pain relief.
yeah, that
I
is true.
have an opposite effect when I partake in the marijuanas, where like all the little
Everything hurts.
I'm serious.
Really?
Every little latent ache and pain that I ignore in my daily life, like
You
that I
can't
just
tune
live
it
with,
out, yeah.
I can't tune it out. and
Really?
it all comes to the forefront, and I'm in pain.
I
That's
do
wild.
something very similar.
That's the
It's-
biggest reason that I
the
don't
pain
do
doesn't hit me, but like everything that buffers me from all of my anxieties,
it.
like
That too.
my own structured belief in myself and like my ability to get through stuff. Like so I'm transitioning jobs right now. Like I got a new job on Monday.
Right.
If I were to smoke any weed tonight, I guarantee I'd have a full blown panic attack. I mean, without a doubt. I didn't get my last paycheck for my last job because I declared bankruptcy.
right.
And like, I mean, like, I'll be fine. I'm starting a new job. I will have money within 3 weeks. You know.
Right.
But like the amount of anxiety that would cause me if I smoked weed right now would be through the fucking roof,
Right.
without a doubt.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
My big thing is like if I'm going to, again, I don't smoke as a general rule. Every once in a while I'll get a hankering or some. It's not even that I get a hankering. It's not that I actively am like I want to smoke weed. Somebody will be smoking weed around me and I'll have a couple drinks in me. I'll be like, fuck it, I'll hit the joint, you know. But either way, whatever method I become high in, if I am not, so the reason I like edibles is normally I'm done with my work
Tasty
day.
chocolate.
I'm done with my work day.
I like brownies.
I've got, I'm already showered. I already showered. I ate something, a medium, not anything too filling. I don't have shit to do tomorrow. I'm going to fucking eat an edible and just sink into the fucking couch or the bed or whatever, watch something. Fine. If I'm out in a place that I'm not comfortable with, AKA my bedroom in my bed, around people that I'm not like I could sit here and get high with you guys and be fine because I'm comfortable in the studio. You guys are a couple of my best friends. Fine. But if there was like,
Aw.
I don't even like you, dude.
that's fine. But if there was a fourth person here that was like just even slightly outside of the fucking mix, I would probably get high, sit right here, watch the three of you converse, and be completely like fly on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
That's how I was too.
microanalyze everything you guys said.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then
And
make
just-
it about you.
Not
Yeah,
even
like they're
no,
talking
no,
shit about
no,
you,
no,
aren't
not even not even that. Not even that. Literally, almost like I'm watching a movie. Like just
Yeah, I remember
watching
that.
it. Just not having any specific feelings one way or the other. Just watching. I just become a fucking spectator,
Yeah.
and that's not fun for anybody else.
Fuck that noise. It sucks.
Well, and that's why I stopped smoking weed was because my friends were like, "You're not fun.
If anybody,
You're fun when you're not
if
high. You're
anybody
not
has,
fun when you are high."
If anybody has weed that won't do that to us, please send it to P.O. Box.
All right.
So in
well,
conclusion,
yeah.
weed's stupid.
Yeah, it's
And
a
this
dumb
is an
plant.
anti-weed
It's just a
podcast.
stupid plant that makes you dumb.
Listen, if you like smoking
All of
weed, go
history's
nuts.
been a dumb asshole.
I think
Which should probably be the sign off for all of our
I think what
episodes.
we wrapped up with is that if you smoke weed and you're one of our listeners and you smoke weed, go buy
You
heroin.
aren't allowed to listen to us anymore.
Go buy
Mom
heroin.
said.
Go buy heroin tomorrow because it's your future. That's just it's in the stars.
Yep.
You're a heroin addict.
You're the fault in our stars.
smoke one
Thank
weed.
you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Delete Everything's podcast about weed. We don't do weed. Dicks, Peeny Vagini.
We're not on the pot. If you like this episode, please let us know. Get on whatever you're listening to. Give us 5 stars. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Leave us a comment on Spotify,
Smoke
YouTube.
a spliff and listen to the rest of them.
YouTube, Instagram at Delete Everything Podcast. Follow us there and join us on Patreon, man. You'll have a fun time, I promise.
If you guys like smoking weed, I've heard that Piper at the Gates of Dawn is really good if you're high.
Oh, that's a deep cut. All right. We'll see y'all next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Fritzy. Pass that shit.
It's good shit. It's good shit. It's good shit. It's good shit.
I want to smoke a reefer and go dancing to the trumpet. A single reefer cigarette could make you go insane. You'll kill your mother. Marijuana, 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 marijuana. Yeah, they put their baby in the oven thinking it was a ham sandwich. After us smoking half a reefer. I want to smoke a marijuana cigarette with a black person. Black person. Black. I'm gonna get that booty jambalaya later.